Enter.
Bonus. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Sclimbo from Sock's VTubing agency, and I'm back. I'm back and better than ever. That's right. I slept. I'm back. I'm not tired anymore. I slept 9 hours, 2 days in a row. That's rare for me, but I did it, and I think I'm back. I mean, sleep debt can't really be recovered from, but like, I'm feeling normal. I'm feeling pretty damn normal. Also, welcome in. I love Thicks. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. I love Thicks. Now lurk and listen. Yeah, everybody lurk and listen. It is, well, don't lurk and listen. You can talk. You're allowed. You're allowed. You're allowed. I would say I'm back to full power. Yeah, I'm pretty much back to full power. Yeah, we're kind of back. We're kind of back. Account created 5 minutes ago. Well, listen, maybe they just love Thicks for 5 minutes, right? Also, what's up, Papador? What's going on? But welcome in, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful week so far. We last saw each other on Tuesday for a very tired Nuzlocke stream where I made a lot of mistakes, but no longer, because I'm back, because I'm so back. And this isn't even my final form. Thanks for the check-ins, everybody, and thanks for being here. Ooh, we got stuff to talk about today. Ooh, we got stuff to talk about today, but first things first, let me pay out the raffle. We are in Africa. Everyone, welcome to literally Timbuktu. We somehow... Ayono. 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 What are you doing over there, Ayono? Thank you so much, Ayono, for the swinch to contribute. Ayono, thank you so much. Big love, big love. Yeah, we're in literally Timbuktu. Welcome to Timbuktu, Mali. We're literally in Timbuktu. That's not on purpose. That, again, this is random. The closest city was literally Timbuktu. Funny when that happens. So we're in Africa. Africa guessers, big points to you. I don't think we had... Oh, that was the lowest guess today. Oh, hey, big continent. You better watch yourself. That's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. All right, can we go ahead and get the marshmallow pinned in chat, by the way? I think the pins only work when stream's actually on, so I'm pretty sure it's not pinned in chat now. But if we can get that pinned in chat, that would be awesome, because as usual, this is our Thursday just chatting, fitness, and whatever the hell I want stream. That being the case, we want to get that marshmallow pinned if you have any fitness or nutrition questions. We also got some topics to talk about. Oh, you see it? It's still pinned? Yeah, there we go. There we go. I hope everyone had a good day so far. I hope everyone had a good day yesterday too on the day off. I just kind of did chores all day and caught up on stuff because, you know, usually I spend my Sundays doing all my thumbnails and shorts and stuff like that. So I had to do that yesterday because I was away. Didn't finish it all. We don't have shorts scheduled. I actually had to get a bunch sent over to Surd for editing, and I haven't finished editing the other ones. So like realistically, I want to do 7 shorts a week, like I've talked about. But if I just don't have the material for it, right, there's like not 7 clips a week, then we just can't. So we'll see. He didn't finish. Okay, maybe I'll finish after stream. Teehee, okay? I'll finish after stream. It's just hidden behind the predict. Yeah, it happens anyway, true. Looking for the silver lining. I'm always looking for the silver lining. You can be anything you want, but you'll always be alone. Nah, I'm not alone. Look at everyone here. I can't be alone. Your boys got everyone here to help each other out and stuff like that. Nuh-uh. I'll get 2 today. Please don't whip me. Surd, whip. No, you don't need to rush, Surd. That's my bad. I didn't get them to you. I didn't get them to you for 2 weeks. That's entirely my fault. So, but I have like 3 more in reserve that I need to edit, and that's like that's a me problem. The problem was I had some free time last night where I was supposed to be editing them, and I ended up watching Tip to Tip. I've been watching, because Tip to Tip's a great series for those who don't know. Ludwig, the streamer slash YouTuber, does these tip to tip challenges where they try and travel across a country on motorcycle with no maps or phones. And they did Japan last year and they're doing China this year. And that's way worse. That's so much harder. So I've been watching that. I've been catching up on that. So then won't, but I will. Etu, be nice to Surd. Etu, be nice to Surd. Yeah, tip to tip. Damn right. Tip to tip. All of China. They're going from the south of China to the north of China. They're probably in over their heads. They also can't speak Chinese. Well, they speak some Mandarin, but it's really bad because tonal languages are really hard. So they keep saying words that are supposed to mean hotel, but they keep saying pig shop. Let's see, what else? It keeps saying pig shop. They keep saying lunch. They keep saying a few other things instead. Hand cream. Those all sound like hotel. So yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah, they're in trouble. He said I had the Michael Reeves build. Well, yeah, that's because SVA is a Filipino company. That's a true fact. That's a true fact. In fact, hold on, let me this happened yesterday. let me put this on screen because this is good. So not only were we talking about my $250 rent in the shed, this happened yesterday too, which was really good. Check this out. If you really think about it, I'm basically Filipino as well. If you think really hard about it, you know? So you can kind of see it. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I did get the pass. I was given the pass, the Filipino pass, by the way, by 3 separate people. So I think that's like official now, right? I think it's like pretty official because I've gotten the Filipino pass multiple times. So, you know, yeah. Hey, you know, though, I'm really interested in going to the Philippines. Like, no joke. I think when it comes to the Philippines, I'm like, that's like number 2 on my next travel list, I'd say. Number 1 and number 2, specifically because of the people. Specifically because of the people. Every single person I have ever met from the Philippines, I have vibed with super hard to the point where I'm like, I have to go there now because it's weird. Like, it's weird how much I've been vibing with everyone I've ever met from the Philippines. I'm like, I need to go like see what's up. Like, I need to figure this out. Why is it like that? why am I vibing with everyone? Stop on the way to or from Japan. It's actually like kind of far from there, so. My fiance's friend server has a soundboard for holy shit, I am Filipino. What about number 6 and 7? What do you mean? Oh, number 6 and 7. Maybe like Turkey. Maybe like Turkey, Iceland, maybe. I don't know. Turkey's probably higher up. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. So not only do I have our fitness questions as per usual, which you can feel free to submit now, we are going to yap a little bit. We also got all the stories from CarrierCon, all the magical things that happened, right? Clickbait title, how did I end up on a meet and greet, right? Like clickbaits. You can show me, you have the biggest IKEA in the world? I love IKEA. There's like snacks there and like architecture, but like, you know, in-house architecture, whatever that's called, staging for rooms, and you can like run around and there's like a bunch of different zones and then they give you meatballs. That's like the best place ever. I get excited to go there. Why Turkey? No, the only reason, okay, I'm very easy to sway. The only reason that I want to go to Turkey is because I was on a plane and passing through Istanbul one time and the person next to me was like, you should come to Istanbul. It's great. And I was like, damn, you're right. I should. And then I looked and saw it was cheap, like with the US dollar. So I'm like, okay, gotta go there. That's all. That's literally, I'm that. If somebody tells me it's a good country, I'll be like, cool, let's check it out. Gonna wake up at endless IKEA. That's like a reality marble, right? Domain expansion, endless IKEA. Eastern come to Brazil? Wait, Eastern come to Brazil. Oh, is come to Brazil a thing? Is that like a thing people do? Cheap? Yeah, apparently Turkey's pretty cheap with the US dollar. So I figured Sweden would have it too, but I want to go to the Netherlands for the same reason. Yeah, just people being like, hey, come over. Come to my back shed. Okay. Okay. Yay. But I'm back from CarrierCon, everyone. You know what? We have so many. I have images to show. I got stories to tell. I got a whole list here. I got everything approved to talk about because obviously there's some things we can't talk about and some things we can because we want to respect people's privacy. But I have an approved list of like everything I can talk about. So we're ready to rock. We're going to have a good time today. It's going to be Yap Central. And I'm excited to get to it. Switzerland's your first choice. I want to go like all those places. I want to get to more countries. I've only been to like 12. And I feel like I should be traveling way more. It's purely financial. I got the time to do it. But hey, that's why we're working towards full time and remote. And then I can travel around and do content and stuff. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Only? Yeah, well, like there's like 200 of them, right? That's like only 10% of the... That's like 5% of the countries. Hold on, took me a sec to do the math there. That's like 5% of the countries ever, right? Like I can do better than that. Come on. I'm like a traveler, man. I can do way better than that. Come on. All right, let's get started talking about CarrierCon though. You've only been to the US in vacation? Yeah, well, the US is big, so to be fair, I don't like me being in the US, 12 countries, I think is more impressive than someone who lives in Europe where they go to 12 countries for lunch. So I'm gonna count that. Yeah, if you go to the EU, you can get 4 countries in one, pretty much. I mean, a lot of them, well, some of them are European countries. Not a lot of them, some of them are. I haven't been to like mainland Europe that much. I've been to Italy and Greece. I've been through Germany. I've been to Scotland, UK, but like I haven't been to like, you know, a really France, Germany, Spain, like all that cool stuff going on over there. I'd be a menace with an unlimited flights pass. Is that real, Volcano? How do I get it? I would be a menace. Give me the Eurorail pass and it's actually over. Can you train us to Naruto walk on water? Well, I've been to Naruto, specifically the location, so. Can't wait for Sclim to go to the Philippines, just lives there because he can get a full house for $250 a month. Don't tempt me, sir. We should all move to the Philippines and live off $250 a month rent. That's like what I have now in rent, but like 3 times as big, probably. Can't recommend Prague, Czech, highly enough. Yeah, I've heard the Eastern European cities actually rock. I've heard great things about Prague. I've heard great things about, I think Warsaw. Did I hear great things? That's more Central Europe, but I've heard great things about Warsaw, especially Prague. A lot of the big Eastern European capitals apparently are pretty banger these days. So hearing about some kind of $1,000 unlimited flight pass for people under 20. I'm not under 20. Can I pretend? Do you think I can pretend like that one guy in Brazil who's 36? And have you seen that guy? The guy who's like he claims he perpetually looks 17, but he's 36 and you can really tell. And he's like prancing around outside being like, teenagers just love to prance in the water. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me. You wanna go to Prague? Yeah, I wanna go to Prague. I wanna go to Prague. How do you abuse it? I mean, I would abuse it. When you wander outside the tourist trap areas, you kind of always should. You kind of always should. I think the tourist trap areas aren't that exciting, honestly. Like, I think they're overrated. There's cool things you want to see. Like, historically, it's good to see stuff, but I'm weird where I will go to a location for 5 minutes. So, like, if I were to go to the Eiffel Tower, I would go to the Eiffel Tower and be like, cool, Eiffel Tower, take a picture and walk away within, like, 7 minutes. Like, that's my style, where I'm like, no. I want to see everything. I don't need to see everything for a long time, right? And then I want to go somewhere else, and I want to go outside the tourist zone, but usually I like seeing how people live. I like going where people like actually live normally and kind of emulating that lifestyle. So Philippines is too humid, tropical cyclones, stay on the West Coast where we get random earthquakes, or you could come to New England where there's no natural disasters whatsoever or dangerous animals besides, well, if you go really north, there's moose and like bears, but they're like the pity bears, like the not scary bears. And I guess we do kind of have hurricanes, but they're not that bad. We're pretty safe up here, honestly. The unlimited flight passes discovered a new class of rich people that would get on cross-country flights for lunch. I would do that. I would do that. That's like my biggest thing, where if everything fell apart, I'd want to be a flight attendant so I could get free travel everywhere. I just want to go places. I want to go places and do stuff. I like planes. That was the problem with Kyoto. The tourist areas sucked. Yeah, well, that's the thing, is they stop, like, Kyoto is just way too overcrowded in general, and you can get Kyoto out of other places, because a lot of people don't know this, but the reason why Kyoto is still Kyoto is because it was spared bombing. It was spared bombing in World War II, right? So a lot of the original infrastructure is still there. Well, there's another city that was also spared bombing in World War II that still has a lot of historical districts, Kanazawa. You could just go to Kanazawa. It was more insulated because it was on the north coast. And Kanazawa is like the same vibe as Kyoto in many, many areas. And ooh, is it nice? Ooh, is it nice? And you can get there pretty easy. It's not too bad. Like Shimokitazawa in Japan, not a lot of tourists know about it yet. Yeah, also Wagwan Toast, what's going on? Konnichiwa Wagwan. Venus Slimes, what's up? Yeah, but hurricanes and blizzards are weak. They're weak. Come on. They like they kill people sometimes, but they barely kill people. They're kind of weak shit. Yeah, go to Kanazawa, it rocks. I went to Kanazawa directly during cherry blossom, and there were like tornadoes of cherry blossoms near the castle. It was the coolest thing of all time. I have small dog energy. I want to go places and do things. Is that small dog or big dog? Do they call me big dog or do they call me small dog? We also don't get hurricanes. We get heavy rains. Hurricanes are a southern East Coast problem. That's fair. I mean, we do get them, but you know, rarely. Hey, what's up, Vex? What's going on? How you doing today? How you doing today? Yeah, we're yapping before we start talking about CarrierCon. It's a yap day today. I see some marshmallows coming in. Let me just check that none of them are super pressing, because I do want to talk about CarrierCon and then get to them a little bit later. I'd like to do that a little bit later. I am seeing them though. I'm registering that they're happening. I want to yap about fun things. Are we still planning the April Japan trip? No, the flight prices went crazy because of the jet fuel price, because of the oil price. So I can't go anywhere. Mom. I want to go to Japan. I'm so like, because, you know, the trip was awesome. It was like top 5 experiences in my life, honestly, CarrierCon. but we were like working the whole time. A lot of fun, but I wasn't like exploring. Like I only went to the con and the Airbnb. I didn't really go anywhere else. I went to like Pete's Coffee once, right? Yeah, let's plan for Japan. I mean, I gotta go to Japan whenever I get the opportunity, right? Make Flork fly us all there. Yeah. How you doing? Can't wait to go to Japan. Yeah, I'm doing good. All right, let's get started talking about CarryCon because I got things to show off. So let me tell you stories. I've got to have so many funny stories. All right, let me get my list here and see where I want to start. Okay, let's start with, you know what? Let's just go through it, right? Let's just go through it. We'll do a little show and tell. I'm gonna go over here for this. Story time. All right, I'm gonna go over here for this and just like put this image on screen for now. So obviously we had our standees there, right? So there's a Sclim standee, and you can't, hold on, let me boost it so you can read it. I signed it, and I decided to do the Sclimroy, the little Kilroy, because we're on a boat, right? Sclimbo was here, and I was telling everyone to eat their brickin' and stuff. But yeah, I got a big old standee there. The funny thing about it was appropriately sized to Malfina, as you can see in this picture. As you can see in this picture, appropriately sized cannon heights compared to Malfi. Yeah, we kidnapped EXO, that too. We're gonna talk about that. Yeah, we'll go through. So, my short king. Look, it's canon. And even better is if you look at it, I'm actually like on a platform already, so I'm even shorter. Apparently I was the shortest one there because we were comparing to, I believe, Skylar from V-Fleet. Might be mispronouncing that, and I think I was smaller still, so be like that. Here to explain the swinger house. We'll get to that, Mune, but yeah, we did stay in the swinger house by accident. That's a true story. Looking at how the artist draws around his knees, I know what you are. What do you mean? By the way, King Meg Art did all of the art for CarryCon from, I think, Aegis Link, V-Fleet, and SVA. So King Meg did crazy work. If you want to point your fingers at anyone in particular, just letting you know. But all right, let me start off from the top. So, you know, get on the plane. And I told that story where I ended up seated next to an absolute like wild person telling me wild stuff. I'll just do a quick revamp of that. So get on my plane. Hey, Ayoda, thank you for the resub. Given to King Meg, thanks so much. So I get on the plane, right? And unfortunately, I lost my gamble. So I got 2 middle seats, no layover, just like a straight 6-hour flight, and 2 middle seats. So on the way there, yeah, conspiracy Karen and 90-year-old World War TikTok Chinese brain rotter. Yep. But it was really funny how it progressed, just to revamp that, because I sat down and I see in the window seat a lady who looks like exactly the archetype of a Karen, right? We're talking the highlights, we're talking the haircut, we're talking the hoop earrings, literally all of it. And I was like, you know, I'm not going to judge. Surely this is just coincidence, right? So I sit down, start talking to her, pleasant conversation. We're gambling. We're like, oh, maybe no one will show up in the aisle seat, right? And then some guy comes and sits down, like last one on the plane, right? Like we were about to be free. Last person on the plane is in our seat. And it was like an 80 or 90-year-old veteran. He had a veteran hat on, U.S. veteran. And he just immediately pulled out his phone and started playing Chinese brain rot TikToks. Like, you know, the ones with like the laughing and stuff where it's like, like the chipmunk laughing that just keeps repeating, right? Absolute like brain fry TikToks, full volume, no headphones. Right? Like the PA system is like, please use headphones to not disturb others. And dude's just tanking it. He just doesn't care. He's going, right? So Karen and I are looking at each other. Yeah, platonic ideal of a Karen. So we're looking at each other like, oh, geez, what an interesting flight this is going to be. Ha ha, right? Like we're on the same team. We're on the same team here. And then she just looks at me and just like, you know, slow turn, like like the light or the L slow turn from Death Note just starts hitting me with conspiracies. Like it was like, oh, you thought he was the problem. No. It was me all along, right? Turns her head, leads with Iraqi dinar is the new world standard currency and we need to buy it because it's going to be revalued and everyone's going to use it from now on. Hits me with the IRS isn't real. She hasn't paid taxes in 5 years. Hits me with Titanic didn't happen, but it also did happen. And it was used to kill Federal Reserve bank votes, anti-Federal Reserve bank notes. And just lefts and rights coming out of nowhere, right? Bam, bam, one side, another side. And I'm trapped because I was nice to her. So I'm trapped. I'm just in there. I'm trying my best to like, you know, be nice, but not agree with her, right? Because I'm not going to argue with this lady for 6 hours, right? I'm not going to be like, you're dumb, and argue with her for 6 hours with her sitting right next to me. So I'm going to be pleasant. I'm going to like, haha, you know, like the kind of just moving the conversation forward, trying to switch topics, right? Like she would talk about, oh God, I'm trying to think of a good example, but she was talking about some crazy stuff and I'd like, kind of like an idiot, I kind of played a little dumb and return it somewhere else. So she was talking about like world currency and Bitcoin and crypto and stuff like that. And like conversion rates of the Iraqi dinar as the new standard currency. And I kind of like an idiot, I turned into it and I was like, you know, you can get a good conversion rate if you like use your debit card at ATMs in Japan. I did that once, like completely try to no sell that conversation and pivot it into a normal conversation. Kept doing that. Yeah, wait till you get to the team part. Yeah, the J team. Yeah. All right. So, and then the point where I put a tap on it, the point where I was like, no, we're done here pretty much was, well, so it's a 6-hour flight, A12, right? So I did put on my headphones and watch movies and tune her out. She just kept coming back, right? Like I take my headphones off, go to the bathroom, she'd start up another convo. So this was like on and off 4 or 5 conversations, right? Dental hygienist, by the way, she was. And she was telling me about, you know, a bunch of like vegan and all that stuff, right? Like no seed oil, literally everything you would expect. And the point where I put a stop to it was towards the end of the flight. She looks at me and she goes, you know, there's 3 types of people in like the world. And I was like, oh no. And she goes, like you and I are the good ones, the true Jews. And I was like, whoa, whoa, what are we talking about? Like, what is this line? What is this line? Yeah. And like she was talking about some difference between like Khazarian and I don't know, but J-team baby, I don't know what that even means, right? So I just kind of immediately no-sold that and tuned it out, where I was like, all right, that's too much. This is a public conversation. So I was just like, I laughed and I was like, I don't consider myself religious. Like, no, I'm not a Jew. And then I put my headphones on and you know, listen to music. I was like, I'm not Jewish. I don't consider myself religious. And I left that conversation. But I was like, don't want to know where that goes. Do not want to know. Not interested in seeing the conclusion of that one. So yeah, Paul, no, let's not ask Polly to explain. Polly can DM me later, I'm sure. But that one, I was not prepared for that one. So, you know, she was hitting me with lefts and rights all over the place. But I get off the plane. And pretty much like the second I get off the plane, Yomi, I think, landed at like 6 minutes away from when I landed. So I meet up with Yomi pretty much right away. And we're hanging out and stuff like that. And then everyone else starts, you know. Like, I don't want to know what the other 2 types are. I don't want to know anything. I don't want to know anything. And the crazy part about it is, like, I don't even know where she was coming from, because, like, I don't think, like, we're clearly not talking about the religion at this point, right? You know what I mean? Like, we're clearly not talking about, like, Judaism, the religion. We're talking about something else that she's concocted in her head or seen on Facebook. And that's a ball game I don't want to play, right? But anyway, yeah, so we get Yomi, we get everyone together, and we start heading off, and we go to the safest place in the entire United States, Oakland, California, where our stay location is. So for those who don't know, Oakland, California, I think is the 2nd highest crime city in the entire United States. So we're in Oakland, and there's like we're like in prison. Like the Airbnb is like a prison, like it's gated, right? Like there's a fence, like barbed wire fence around the place to keep us safe inside, which is going to become important later because it's relevant. Yeah. It was quite, I don't know how affordable it was, but there's a lot of space. You know, it was really interesting. There were like 13 or 14 beds, you know, 13 or 14 beds. I wonder why. Story for later. Being raised in Cali or raised to avoid that city. Yeah, even being from the East Coast, I know the lore about that city. Carrier, never heard of her. Hey, Nuna. What's up, Nuna? So, it better be affordable. I felt so bad when Addie looked at the crime map. We tried to stop her. I was like, yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't look at the crime map. Don't do it. Yeah, Los Santos. Yeah, pretty much. So that night, here's the crazy. You ready for some more crazy lore? I've been approved to tell you this. This is crazy lore, right? So we get there, and Etu and Raika, like some of the TMs, right, are preparing dinner. We're gonna have like a big kind of like family dinner, right? Turns out Flork used to be a sushi chef. Flork, our beautiful CEO of Flork of Cows, used to be a professional sushi chef. So slaps us up a masterful meal, like insane amounts of sushi. I didn't know that either. I had no, yeah, I'm sorry, right? I was as confused as you were. Yep, Flork of Knives. Flork just slapped up some insane sushi. We had like inari tofu pockets. We had a variety of types of sushi and stuff like that. We had musubi. It was going wild. A chef made PB and wet? Absolutely. See, even at a high tier, you can make smart decisions like Brickin' or PB and wet. Although I haven't tried PB and wet, so I can't really claim anything there. But did Brickin' sushi happen? I think somebody might have done it. We did make Brickin'. We did make Brickin' that night, and I can say that everybody tried Brickin'. A good amount of people tried Brickin', including some V-Fleet people, because we had some of the V-Fleet talents come over as well. You know, we weren't, the house specifically said no parties, but we weren't having parties. We were just having, you know, business meetings, right? With 20 people. That's, you know, it's business meetings with 20 to 25 people from a variety of VTubing agencies, right? You know, it's business meetings. So, so yeah, there was some Brickin'. It was a very bad Brickin' though. It was not my best Brickin'. It was a big oven. I actually have a video I'll put up at some time of Cammy and I making the Brickin' and trying to put it in the oven, because we preheated the oven and then we left it preheating, and then we opened it up eventually to put the Brickin' in, and there were just all of the pans in there, and they were smoking because some of them had like wooden handles and stuff. So we were like, ah, and they like turned it off right away. But yeah, we made some pretty bad Brickin'. It didn't like get to, it was like too big, and the pan was too big, so the juices didn't soak in, and we didn't have the right seasoning. It wasn't a good Brickin', but it was a Brickin'. It was a Brickin', and people did enjoy it. But I was like, hey, not my best work, right? Not my best work. One of the funniest parts of that night, though, the first night was, so a lot of you might know Exo vs VT, good friend, and Exo's been doing his subathon, right? Exo's been live for like, oh god, like 14 days on his subathon at this point or something. Been doing it every day. And I guess I got back because I went like a grocery snack run with a few of the other talents, right? And I get back and I just see a message in our like chat that says, oh, Exo's coming over. And I was like, yo, what? I didn't know Exo was like around. What? I didn't know he was around here. He wasn't around here. I guess Etu got on his stream and bullied him into flying out to hang out with us for the weekend. So we literally kidnapped Exo from his subathon, and he flew that night, like with 2 hours notice, to come hang out with us. So we kidnapped Exo, and Exo was with us, which was really cool, because Exo's a baller. So yeah. And then we found out that it was a swinger Airbnb, and that's why I had so many beds. So basically what happened was I was waiting for the shower one day. Yeah, you threw a plane ticket at him, exactly, like directly in his face. So I was waiting for the shower one day, right? And I just see these notes on a board. They're like a board where all the previous guests have, you know, put notes like thank yous and stuff like that. And I started noticing a few suspicious ones. One just was like, when in doubt, swing out. And I was like, huh, that's weird. What, like, is it like a swing company or something? Like a playground company? And then one was pretty overt. One just said straight up, our Christmas home, Santa Cruz Swing, 2024 to 2026 so far. And we were like, oh, that explains 13 beds. That explains 13 beds. So yeah, it turns out it was a swinger house. And the best part of the whole place was because it was in Oakland, we didn't get to sleep. We didn't get to sleep at all. Most of us were sleeping in 2 to 3 hour bursts because of the violence outside. You probably saw Flork write a little comic about that. Yeah, that was real. The guy with the chain in the yard at 2 a.m., that's real. All of it. Every 2 to 3 hours, we would get blasted by something and woken up. Usually, I think there was like gangs of New York going on outside. There was like full on just people roaming the streets in like droves, right? Just screaming all night. There were motorcycles blasting through, setting off car alarms all night. There was a dude who was just walking across with a chain. We saw a dude pee. A dude just pissed in his car that was parked in like our area. And then he got out and pee. And we saw him. Like, we saw his little dingler. We saw his dangler. He was just pissing open. You know? Sclimbo came to my meet and greet and I was like, how's the Airbnb? And he replies, the chained man kept me awake. That's true, Fibby. Because I was, all the people who were at our meet and greets for the most part that I knew, I was popping in front of the camera to be like, hey, what's up? It's me, Sclimbo. So I did see Fibby there. I did see Fibby there on the meet and greet. Yeah, no, the chain man is real. The chain man is real. But it wasn't just the chain man. It was also the PP piss car man, the motorcycle man, the random, oh, my favorite one, the one that was just really like, what are we doing here? Was there was a car, like a van that just pulled up and was blasting like subwoofer level bass music rap for like 3 hours between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. Just sitting there. I don't know what they were doing, like what they were up to, but like at no point did they ever think like, this might be obnoxious to anybody in this neighborhood, right? No point did they think that. And yeah, that one was rough. We were not able to sleep because of that, but that was also the same night as PP Car Piss Man. Yeah, nothing stopping the subwoofer car. You could feel it in your chest. Right, nothing was stopping that one. So it was hard to sleep, very hard to sleep, but we were in it together as a family, and that's what matters. I was sleeping on a couch right next to the window where all that was happening, so I was not sleeping. That was just not happening. But I love cities people sleep soundly to this. Well, you know what's funny is like I'm actually pretty good at sleeping because one of the houses I grew up in was directly behind the highway. So I actually grew up to the sound of 18-wheelers blasting down the highway at 2 a.m. And I could sleep to that. This was just extra level. You know, this was just extra level. Trauma bonding. You know, Bogo, I think it was trauma bonding. And I appreciate trauma bonding. I think it's fun. Let's see. Realize what the TMs are talking about when Reich and I were going to casually walk out for alcohol, just the two of us. Yeah, no, there was like a I need a drink. There's so many I need a drink moments. So the vibes were not the best, but honestly, the thing was we were pretty safe, I think, because there were so many of us, right? It's like you can't rob a house with like 10 million people in it, right? You can't do that. What's going to happen? Like and I'm at the door. I'm like closest to the door, arguably. I'm going to start like barking and ripping them apart with my teeth. Like it's fine, right? The gate was really loud. They'd have to scale the chain fence. Which, again, just a reminder, there was like a chain fence with barbed wire, so we couldn't get encroached upon. So the con was great, the area not so much. Yeah, the aircraft carrier rocked. I got lost in the underbelly of the aircraft carrier for like 45 minutes with Cyrobe, if anyone knows Cyrobe, from YouTube, soon to be true VTuber Cyrobe. It was fun inside with all of us. Just Reich and I are used to going out in danger. That's fair. Yeah, the chain man comes back to on key. It was cool. I was the guard. Yeah, I'm the guard dog. I got a lot of tummy time too. Which is really exciting. Big fan of tummy time. But that was like the Airbnb experience. So yeah, then we can talk about the actual con and all the fun stuff that went down. Yeah, tummy time, Div. So tummy time is when, okay, I don't like to sit down. I like to stand up. I don't like to sit down. So what I do, my favorite way to sit when I'm hanging out is I lay on my belly and with a pillow. So I lay on my belly basically on the floor with a pillow on my chest, like under my chest. And it's tummy time. But yeah, after we realized there was a swinger house, we kind of stopped tummy time, but tummy time was a thing. We did do a lot of tummy time. I even have a little artwork that somebody who came over drew of me doing tummy time. But I don't know. I like laying down on my stomach. I don't like sitting. Sitting doesn't feel good. I want to lay down or stand up. Don't like sitting. Not a fan. I sit enough. I sit enough when I'm streaming or in airplanes or anything like that, right? I don't like sitting. So yeah, then we had the actual con itself, which was another experience. Oh, first things though, I should mention the glissy time. I should mention glissy night because there was this one time, and I can only assume puns did this. This has to have been puns, but I was sleeping on the couch in my 2 or 3 hour span, right? And I woke up at like maybe 2 or 3 a.m. and all I remember is groggily opening my eyes, and there was a hovering plate of glizzies in front of me. Like I opened my eyes. I was like, oh, like somebody must have said my name or something, or shook me awake, and I opened my eyes like, oh, like Limey does, right, when he's waking up in the bed, like that gif, and I was like, oh, and there was just a hovering plate of hot dogs, and I just remember taking one, eating it in like 20 seconds, and then going right back to bed. Now, I barely remember this. It felt like a dream. I don't remember this part, but Pun said apparently I woke up and said, "Are these all for me?" And then Puns was like, "No, take one." And I was like, "Okay." And then went back to bed. I don't remember that, but apparently that happened. Hey, Starry. Yeah, CarrierCon went well. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. Are these all for me? I got blessed with hot dogs. I did. All right, let me see what other images I have here so I can start talking about the actual con experience itself. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, okay. So a lot of things happened. The first thing that was really cool that happened at the con, so obviously I got to hang out with a bunch of people from V-Fleet who are really cool. Their talents, their staff, I was hanging out with them a bunch. I was really vibing with the V-Fleet talents and staff. We had a lot of fun and stuff. It was really a great time. And then, you know, just meeting people, the meet and greets, and meeting people at their booths and stuff, like Miss Lala. Like, we were having so much fun. But there was something, let me preview this image first. There was something that was beyond. I just want to make sure no one's in the image. Okay, yeah. There was something that was beyond, like, it was, I'm gonna cry, which was this. Which was this right here. This is not our merch. This is merch made by an outside group. That's right. We got fan merch. And Cammy brought me over. And was like, look, and dragged me over. And we got fan merch. I was gonna cry. I was like, what? Somebody made merch of us. I was gonna cry. And so we sued them. No, we bought them out. I don't think we like fully bought them out, but I told Flork, and Flork was like, show me right now, I'm buying them all. So yeah, and then we signed some of the display ones. So and by the way, Malfi was here. Malfi's just wasn't up yet because Malfi's was still being printed, but Malfi's was up the next day. So Malfi was here too. Malfi was not left out. But yeah, we signed the display ones, those of us who are in the area, basically. So we have Sklim, Snoozy, Cammy, Yomi, Ali, and Eddie. I was like crying. I was like, oh my god, like, I can't believe that. That's so cool. So I was really, really honored to have that. That was just like, oh my god. Like, what an experience, right? Like, we were on the banners, and we had our standees and our big acrylics and like merch, and I was like, whoa, this is real. VTubing's really cool. I used my free will and just opened a bakery. Oh my god. Congratulations, Star. I remember you talking about a bakery a while ago. Congrats on that. Hey, what's up, Command? Yeah, Sklim real. Well, this is, as you know and have seen before, this is Yomi's hand right here. This is a Yomi hand with Yomi nails. Very beautiful Yomi nails right here. So Yomi's been showing these off on hand cam and stuff like that too. It's not Sklim hand. Mine's much tinier because I have baby hands. You probably saw that during the Uno collab where my hands were as big as Snoozy's. So yeah, make bread to get bread. Akuti, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. So yeah, this was really awesome. But we need to talk about the events of the con themselves. So some of you might have seen this at the con or on Twitter, but something happened. A magical series of events happened, and this was my clickbait going live notification to yeah. So how the hell did I end up on a meet and greet with Zentreya? A wild series of events. Let me tell the story. So, oh god, look at that picture. So powerful. It was a blast hanging with you over the weekend. Oh, thanks, Akuti. It's been a blast. Yeah, thank you so much for that. Who would win, a Cyber Dragon or one Sklimmy boy? Who knows? The next collab victim confirmed. Hours of Mario Party. No! Okay, so this was a story. So here's what happened. When we got to the con and started setting up, we realized pretty quickly that some things were not set up like they were supposed to. Right? We're not sure what happened. It might have been a miscommunication or something like that. But basically, there was supposed to be a stream room where those of us who were at the con could go for our meet and greets on like the main stage and stuff like that, right? And all the other stages where people could have a setup to stream. And we were kind of told, like, just bring your models, right? So as the day progressed and it wasn't yet ready, we kind of started getting worried. So fast forward to Saturday. where we're supposed to be starting our meet and greets and stuff like that, right? We get to the con and we find out very quickly there's a bandwidth problem. The aircraft carrier does not have the bandwidth to support all of these agencies meet and greets, and you know, everyone's streaming in. There's like 8 going on at once, 8 or 9 going on at once, and then obviously we're streaming like this concert stuff going on too. It's wild, right? I heard after the fact that a router actually burned out at some point on Saturday, like one of the old ship routers. I don't know how true that was, but I did hear that at one point, and then it got fixed. But Sunday was better for that, so that makes sense. But yeah, the videos were choppy. And we couldn't, like behind the meet and greet screen, like sometimes we couldn't see or hear well. Like it was cutting in and out, and people's like video feeds were in like 140p. Like it was really hard for us to do the meet and greet on our end because it was hard to hear people, which is part of why I felt like I didn't put on my best show on this meet and greet, because there's a lot of factors. But yeah. An aircraft carrier from the 50s? Yeah, we're on that 1 megabit bandwidth. Yes, this was on the USS Hornet, by the way, which was an aircraft carrier that was in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, specifically, and also picked up the Apollo astronauts. So I was able to walk where Neil Armstrong did, except I'm a weird VTuber, right? Neil walked so I could run. So yeah, not the best internet, right? Well, here's what happened. So first main screen meet and greet of the con was actually Malfi. So we had Malfi set up. Malfi was remoting in because Malfi was not there. So Malfi's was pretty fine. There was some tech issues, right? There were some bandwidth issues, but Malfi's started on time and went pretty good. And then things started to go unfortunate for tech because Addy was up next, right? It was Addy's time to be on main screen for the meet and greet. And Addy went up there and found out that there was a microphone and a laptop, but OBS wasn't installed. VTube Studio wasn't installed. It was not ready for a meet and greet. Addy was supposed to go live in like 10 minutes. So Addy, the GOAT, spends her time, meet and greet time, setting it up for everyone else. Because it wasn't only just for us, but like also used for some of the other stuff, like some of V-Fleet stuff and stuff like that, right? So we ended up, Addy ends up basically locking in and setting it up. In the meantime, I'm running around. And again, I want to preface, this is not something I like had to do. I just like, I had been meeting everyone and I kind of like moving around and helping out. So I was helping out with the scheduling because we were behind schedule now. So I was trying to help out swapping the schedule for everybody to make sure it like fit now with the new time changes, right? So Addy finishes setup. Basically, Addy finishes setup and has like 10 minutes left in her meet and greet. And she's like, I don't think I'm going to do it at this point, right? There's only 10 minutes left. Just got set up. I'm going afterwards. From the top ropes, Zentreya. From the top ropes, somehow, Zen, being omnipresent, I guess, knew all of this was happening, reaches out to Addy and goes, just come on with me. Because apparently Zen had an hour meet and greet. So Zen was just like, just come on with me, Addy. And so Addy, having after set it up, basically, Zen posts and Addy goes on with Zen. Zen rocks for this, by the way. Zen is so sick for this. So Addy and Zen do a joint meet and greet, right? Now, I'm up deck. I'm on next. So I'm waiting there for my time. And one of the staff comes up to me and is like, hey, so we promised Zen an hour meet and greet. It's only been 30 minutes. Do you want to go up with Zen? And I was like, and this was not like one of Zen's staff members. So I was like, let me like talk to Zen's team first. Like, I'm not just going to assume that's an offer, right? Especially with everything going on right now. I don't want to assume that's an offer. So I was like, hey, like, I'll go on with Zen if Zen's okay with that. I can also wait. Like, I don't mind pushing mine back. I'm not doing anything really. So let me know. And then Zen's team was like, yeah, just go on with Zen. Absolutely. Zen will have you on. And then, yeah, then I, after Addy, also went on with Zen, and Addy and I hot swapped. So that's how Zen, Trey, and I ended up doing a dual meet and greet. Absolutely saved the day. Yeah, Addy and Zen locked in so hard. A lot of the staff locked in too. Special shout out, by the way, to, I believe the name was Draco Slayer. Special shout out to Draco Slayer for absolutely becoming our point of contact and locking in super hard on fixing all the issues. So big shout out there too. No, Zen was great. Zen was great. But it was a really tough situation for me, right? Because I was like being thrown, both Addy and I, but we were being thrown into the fire where it was like, okay, I've only done one meet and greet ever before. And if you've never done a meet and greet, obviously you have to balance the fact that like there's going to be a bit of a delay on people asking you questions, and there might be interrupts. You have to wait for them to speak and then, you know, be finished and stuff, and you don't know what you're getting yourself into. Layered on top of that was the fact that was going on with Zen, which I've only worked with Zen once on the boat tour thing last week, basically. So I'm not super familiar with like the working with Zen. And then also we were having bandwidth tech issues, so I couldn't hear very well or see very, very well. So like all of these combined, and I had like 10 minutes to prepare. I was gonna piss myself. I was standing there in like the basically on deck watching Addie do it, and I was like hyping myself up, like okay. I was like watching Addie carefully on like how she was interacting, because you know I also have to be like understanding that like, yeah, a lot of people are going to be there for Zen, so I have to balance not talking over Zen or talking too much or anything like that. So I was like learning from Addie on the fly, just watching her like, okay, that's what we're doing. That's what we do. And then we're just in and we hit it. But yeah, it was wild. That's how it ended up happening. And it was like, whoo, did not expect that. But hey, that's what I say. I always love about VTubing is you never know what's going to happen. And this is the biggest example of this. You broke the ice for you with, yeah, thanks by the way for that, Varn. That was great. I will say, don't go around asking people about fertility at a VTuber convention, because I know you were talking to me, but Zen's team didn't know that. That's why I had to claim that. I had to be like, that's mine. Because that was really funny. That was like mentioned after the fact, and I was like, no, that was mine. But you know, it was like I was saying. So earlier that day, I was talking to people, and I was talking to some of the other talents, and we were just talking about VTubing and how cool it is to be here at Caricon. And I was like, you know what? Like, it really is my favorite part about VTubing is how dynamic it is. You never know what's going to happen, right? You never know what's going to happen the day you wake up when you start a stream. You know, maybe you'll get some crazy clips. Maybe there'll be some crazy stuff that happens, right? Maybe you'll have like a really, really fun time. Like anything can happen. And that's my favorite part about it. And days like this are a perfect example of that. Same as the day last week where out of nowhere we were doing the Nuzlocke, and then we ended up doing the Ghost Tour with the Zen all of SVA, right? Like that wasn't part of the plan. You never know how a day's gonna go, and it's so fun. And this is just like that too. It's like I didn't know getting there that day that we'd be doing a dual meet and greet with Zen, and all this stuff would be happening, and we'd have to be like running around and solving tech issues and stuff. Honestly, it reminded me a lot. I kind of like it. So it was very stressful, don't get me wrong, but personally, if I can be a little selfish, I kind of like that sort of high stress running around solving problems thing. It reminds me of running events in college. I used to run like club events and charity events, and I don't know, just like running around and trying to solve things and like directing people places and being like, okay, like this is happening, we need to find a solution. It's really fun for me. Like I really like that, you know? And I don't know, it was kind of fun. Even though it was stressful, it was a lot of fun to do that with everyone, to get to lock in and solve all those problems and stuff like that. It felt really good. Your fiance watched with you, you're grinning the whole time. Yeah, Zen is a legend for doing the Ghost Tour too. Absolutely. It's very fulfilling. It was very fulfilling, and it was fun to do it with SVA, you know, because like these are SVA is like my home, right? And so we trauma bonded. We trauma bonded. It was great. It was good. It was really good. I remember seeing you running around a lot. You seem so locked in. Yeah, I just like it. It's high energy, right? It gives me direction to like for my nuclear reactor in my stomach. Yeah, we got a lot of steps too. A lot of steps on the boat too. It was awesome. But yeah, everything's going according to plan. Oh God. Oh, that harmonica. The squirt harmonica. Yeah, that harmonica is a problem. That thing is a problem. 100%. We tried to get Cammy to get rid of the harmonica because she brought it, and then it ended up creating water like a jutsu in her bag. I don't know, that harmonica is a problem. Yeah, then we had our SVA jackets and stuff. If you were to become a dessert, what would you be? Probably cheesecake. Probably like cheesecake. Yeah, it was great to see everyone repping out there, but that's not the only funny thing that happened. Teehee. That's not the only funny thing that happened. Teehee. Also we did, there were a couple meet and greets that got overlapped by, so we were like right next, so you can actually see in this picture, that screen right to the left of that main stage is the SVA meet and greets, right? The ones we were hosting for like other people, not our talents, but like other people there. And there were a couple meet and greets that we did a kind of apologize for, because like we got blown out a bit by a concert that was going on here that wasn't necessarily in the schedule. So there was, we did apologize to a couple people because it was really hard to hear them over the concert that was going on here. And it was like, that wasn't supposed to happen. So that was one other thing. No, you did give me a fish. I don't know if did you give me a fish, Karma? Somebody gave me a fish. I ended up with 2. Hey, what's up, Azra? What's going on? Yeah, we're talking about CarrierCon and stuff. Some cheesecake. But yeah, they got a bit of a rough draw without headphones. Yeah, it was not supposed to go down that way too. So that was just another thing that, it was a miscommunication. So not a big deal, but we did be like, hey, sorry to those two who were at meet and greets at the time. Oh, we had so much fun. But let me tell you about something else that was really funny that happened, because you guys probably saw online that, let me just preview this picture. I think I already did, but I just want to be sure. Yeah, you probably saw this happen online too. Our own alien mixture and Pippa. This was like especially funny from my perspective. So, all right, let me give you the lore. It looks edited. Well, so kind of, here's what happened. Oh, the guy's doing Wotage, by the way. There was a bunch of really, really rockin' Wotage dancers there who were absolutely killing it. For those who don't know what that is, in Japanese idol culture, there are dancers, and they know the specific dances and calls and response that they do that are, it's like a form of rally dancing almost to hype up your idols, right? So they use light sticks, they swing them around, they do certain motions. Depending on the cadence of the song, there are certain call outs and certain routines. And they had a whole team there. It was awesome. Light stick dancers, yeah. Light stick dancers. Super cool dance moves. No, Wotage is awesome. It's awesome. So at this concert on Saturday, here's what happened. So earlier in the concert, we were going there to support Ali, of course, because Ali was in the concert. And I was talking to, I think, Addy and a few other people. And they weren't aware, because Pippa was on stage earlier as like one of the MCs, and everyone was trying to get Pippa to sing, and they didn't really get what the joke was. And so I explained it to them. I was like, okay, so there's this song called Pippa the Rippa, and it's a song Pippa did that Pippa's a little bit embarrassed about and doesn't want, like the bit is like, oh, sing Pippa the Rippa, and Pippa hates it, and like it's a whole joke thing, right? And so I was explaining this to them and explaining the lore behind it. I didn't know Ali was about to sing it. I had no idea. So 20 minutes later, Ali goes up and ends with Pippa the Rippa, and Pippa's there. Pippa is there at the concert. So Ali's singing it, and while Ali's singing it live, they cut Pippa's face back in, and it's just her mean mugging and like putting like the awful mood down thing and like double middle fingers going up. Oh, it was so funny. It was so funny. Absolute crazy choice from Ali. I had no idea she was gonna do that. So yeah, Pippa was like, awful, mood down, frown. all in good fun though, obviously, all in good fun. Yeah, she closed that song to members only for a bit. She did. Oh, that was so good. But yeah, what an experience, honestly. What an experience. The whole thing was just magical. The whole thing was just so magical. I'm so honestly honored that I get to like do that and like go to the con and stuff. And it was such a fun time. It was just like, God, I don't want to say the meme. Did you see the Made Mint sing too? I didn't. Okay, so the only thing that was unfortunate was I would have liked to stay longer a couple times, because there was like a sponsor dinner, and then there was the concert where I would have personally liked to stay a little bit longer, but everyone was really tired, and to get, I things didn't cost me money if I went with the group. So if the group wanted to leave, I kind of was going to go with them. But personally, I wanted to stay and see Mint. I would have liked to stay for the whole concert, but a lot of people are very tired. I just have too much yippee energy, so I can keep going personally. But it was literally like 10 million to 1 in terms of who wanted to go home after Ali's set versus who didn't. But I would have liked to. I really would like to, because I know Mint headlined, and that would have been really cool to see. But I'm sure it'll get uploaded and loaded some line, like online somewhere I can see it. Mint concert was awesome. Hell yeah. Yeah, no, also Offkai, I mean, listen, I am there. Offkai, when Offkai comes, that's PartyCon. Like I'm not constrained. I don't have SVA. Like I think some of us are going, but not all of us. So like I can just do whatever I want. So like, yeah, you better believe Offkai is going to be PartyCon. You better believe we're staying up for Offkai. We're going to do everything. Yeah, 75% of the crew were tired eepers. 25% of us were always up to start the crackhead hours. Yeah. I'm dogging out at Offkai. That's true. That is factual. If we're talking about one time where I am going to be dogging out, it's going to be Offkai. I'm going to be dogging out big time. You're going Offkai? Good. See you there, Karma. Get the duet karaoke in. That's right. We didn't do karaoke. That was the one thing we didn't do. That was one thing we didn't do. But everyone was amazing. I mean, not only did we get to meet, obviously, a lot of the SVA people, but we also got to meet a bunch of the V-Fleet people, some of the Aegis Link people, a bunch of like indie friends and stuff like that. EXO was there, like I said. Miss Lala was there. We're hanging out with Melizan. She was there. That was cool. Box was there, Hunter. So, yeah, it was really good. Will there be another big acrylic of you? I don't think so. I think we only made 2. And I think I got 1 and 1 was for auction. So I think there's only 2. But there will, I think any of the overflow merch is going to go up online, I think. And then obviously, you know, our next con's going to be on key, right? So we might, who knows? Maybe we have unique con merch for there too in the future. Who knows? Who knows? Off key at Offkai karaoke stream. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It was just so nice. I'm going to say the meme. I'm going to do it. You guys don't make fun of me though. I don't want this to be held against me. And I know what I'm doing here, right? I know this is a dangerous sentence to say. I know this is a really dangerous sentence to say in VTubing, but I'm confident. And then you can make fun of me later for it in 3 or 4 years if I'm wrong. SVA is like a family. I'm saying it. I'm saying it. Come kill me. I'm saying it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it's so true. It's so true. Listen, we were just like, I know, right? I know the history of saying that. I know the lore. Trust me. We were just like we were so like all close right away and like, you know, partying together and hanging out together and stuff like that and just like cooking together. It was like, oh, it was really good. It was like a big party. It really was. Like everyone vibed so well. And yeah, no monkey's paw here. No monkey's paw here. SVA drama now incoming in 5 months. No, listen, if I'm wrong, strike me down. If I'm wrong, strike me down, but I'm putting my stake in it. I'm confident enough to put my stake in it. But no, it was a really great group. It was awesome. There was no weird vibes or bad vibes or anything. What's the family lore? There's just a lot of history of agency, like people being like, we're like a family in X VTuber agency, and then a bunch of stuff comes out that like they were all fighting the whole time, or it was like really bad behind the scenes and stuff, right? So there's a lot of stigma to saying that, but I'm gonna stake my claim on it. I'm saying it. I'm confident saying it after meeting everyone. Yeah, usually if a company says that, run, I'm the one saying it. I'm gonna say it. You know, we just hung out. Like, we just hung out a bunch. Like, the best part of the con was after we were stressed out from running everything and having fun at the con and being tired all day, what we chose to do of our own free will was go back and hang out together and have dinner. We would just go back and all hang out and talk and sit on the couch and drink and party. And it was, business meeting. And it was like, it was so much fun. Like, the vibe was good the whole time. Our company's probably going to refuse saying we're a family. This is a talent saying it, so we might be safe. Yeah, you shouldn't say it, dude. Let me say it. Let me say it, and then I can be wrong if I'm wrong. You know? No, Flork's great. Flork's great. My experience with Sclimbo. Yeah, I'll post my own Google Docie. The Uno collab, that's right. Yeah, and then we did our Uno off collab. So the best part about the Uno off collab actually was, you probably heard it if you watched, but like pretty much last minute, we decided to do an Uno off collab on Cammy's channel. And Cammy had set up, we set up a webcam pointing downwards, and we were all in a circle in a very small room playing Uno. But the part that you didn't see was like the entire rest of SVA was downstairs watching it live. And that's why like they were running stuff up to us and like making jokes and coming in and stuff, because they were watching the whole thing live downstairs, like everyone on the TV. So we had like a semi-live audience. It was really good. Yeah, there were so many feet, but not mine. No, I didn't show mine. I didn't show my feet. Nah, you're gonna pay premium for that. Ain't no way. Not for free. Not for free. Yeah, all the TMs kicked the door in and we all panicked. We were like, what's going on? Yeah, then you brought soju. You brought like 20 bottles of soju for everybody. Great idea, by the way. That was for sure a good idea and could not possibly go wrong. Enter. I thought there were snoozy feet. I thought everyone but me showed feet. Melodia, thanks for the follow. Welcome. The dogs are busy sleeping. Long day carrying the con. True. No, I think everyone showed feet except for me, I think. You know? No. Thank you for not succumbing to the feet stuff. Well, listen, nobody asked, right? I was safe. I just didn't say anything. Nobody was like, oh, 20 subs for Sclim feet. Nobody said that. So I was like, okay, I'll just keep them to myself. Right? I'll keep my secrets. No, everyone showed feet. Every single person but me showed feet. Coward. Even Flork showed foot. Yeah, even Flork showed foot. Can we get 20 subs for Sclim's feet? Damn. Oh, yours and Yomi's Yu-Gi-Oh plays were peak. Yeah, that was fun. That was really fun. You playing Yu-Gi-Oh is great. I love Uno. I love Uno. Yeah, but CarrierCon was a wonderful experience. Like I said, top 5 experiences ever. Top 5 experiences ever for me. It was just so cool. And really excited for Offkai. Really excited for On Key. I almost like... When I got home, I started looking at other cons. I do have a meet and greet coming up at a con in about a week. So if anyone is going to WeebCon, I do have a meet and greet there. So I'll put that on Twitter a little bit later once all that stuff starts being more announced. But yeah, Addy killed 2 people. Yeah, if you're going to WeebCon, EXO, what's up? We were just talking about CarrierCon. I missed you too, buddy. You're not live yet. I was like, you're awake right now? What's going on? But welcome. Command, thank you for the resub. Appreciate it. Yeah, I miss you too, EXO. We had a lot of fun. Yeah, I can kidnap you again. It was great. EXO, I love hanging with EXO. EXO's fun to hang with. EXO's fun as hell to hang with. We just get up to Chunibyo stuff all the time. It's so cool. It's so sick, actually. I love that. I love that for us. But yeah, right when I got back, I started immediately looking at other cons because I was like, yeah, I mean, I have Offkai in July, but that's like so far. I want to have fun again. So I was like kind of side-eyeing Oshi Uplink in Toronto. I don't think I can make it. It looks a little expensive, but I was looking at it where I was like, last minute Oshi Uplink maybe? Teehee, but no, I don't think I can pull it off. So yeah, Offkai's so far. I know it's like 4 months away. Actually, exactly 4 months away because it starts on the 24th of July. So, yeah, Offkai 4 months away. That means I have to lock in. Gotta lock in for Offkai. Time to grind for 4 months. But what that also means is we shouldn't really have any major schedule interruptions until Offkai. I really don't think I have much going on. I have like a wedding to go to in May, but besides that, I think we're gonna have a pretty consistent schedule all the way to Offkai, just like we did after New Year's. Pretty sure I don't have any days I need to cancel outside of like getting sick or something. So, yeah. Oh, thanks for the hat. EXO. Appreciate it, buddy. Great times, though. Great times. Trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, yeah. Actually, really funny. So on the way back, I again got the middle seat. But this time I was stuck between the 2 opposite people of the trip there, where I got stuck between 2 grind lords who were very nice. They were both around my age. Absolute grind lords. Mind you, it's like midnight, and I'm flying back. And dude on my left is like working for a Japanese pharmaceutical company, fully fluent Japanese, not Japanese, so second language fluency, and is working on PowerPoints for a pharmaceutical company in Japan at midnight. Dude to the right of me, around my age as well, maybe a little bit older, right? Wearing a sweatshirt. He didn't really talk too much, but he was wearing a sweatshirt and stuff. Was really nice. We were all like, you know, the waitress would come by and we'd all be like, or the stewardess would come by and we'd be like, can we all have water, please? Like, we were all really nice. And he just pulled out like a writing tablet and started doing advanced mathematics on it and had like 100 pages of math notes. Like, I couldn't even understand the math he was doing at all. So I just got stuck between 2 grind lords. It was crazy. Complete opposites of the first trip. Pokemon Expo would be fun. That would be fun, Miggy. I challenge you to a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Uno someday. You're the Uno champ, and only Yu-Gi-Oh! I know is first gen. Perfect match. I did meet some tech wizards. Yeah, I did meet some tech wizards. So Good ride back. And then, oh, I forgot. I got a third crazy person. I forgot about this one. So I thought it was all over, but no, it wasn't. So I get home and I have to drive a while before I actually get home. So I get back to my place at like, oh God, it was like 2 or 3 a.m. Right. And I was hungry because technically I haven't had a yummy snack since getting pancakes in San Fran. So I was like, I want a yummy snack. Right. So I go to a gas station, nearby gas station that like I frequent. This is a place I go. It's not like outside my area. And, 3 a.m., go get some snacks, get a chicken sandwich, right? Get a chocolate bar. And I'm doing the transaction. The teller looks me in the eyes, pauses the transaction and goes, "Can I tell you something?" And I'm like tired, right? It's 3 a.m. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm all scraggly. I'm like not shaved. I'm like, yeah, sure, man. What's up? And he looks at me and goes, "Hey, don't you think it's weird? Have you ever wondered why McDonald's is associated with funeral companies?" And I was like, no, don't, not now. Ah! And then it happened again. And he would not let me leave the conversation. I tried to walk away like 6 times. It was one of those conversations where he was spitting conspiracies at me and I would be like, haha, yeah, literally turn around, start walking out the door, and he would keep going. Like, he just did not at all care that I had turned around and started leaving. He just kept the conversation going. And so I'd have to turn back and be like, oh, yeah, all right, man. And it took like, oh, it was so bad. I just got like, it's so rude to just keep walking, though. And that's the problem is like, I go there. This isn't like I'm never going to see you again situation. This is like, oh, God, this is like my local store. I need to be cordial. But yeah, I don't know. I just made a joke. I just made a joke where I was like, the way I got out of it was by feeding into it, but making a big joke where I was like, I don't know, maybe they're using their fake burger meat for like not corpse. What are they called? Casket. I was like, maybe they're using their fake burger meat for casket lining. Haha. And then I like ran out the door. Watching all the SBA streams at once, wholly overstimulation. Oh, who else is on right now? I'm probably like Yomi at least. And is Malfi still on? Maybe Malfi's going late. When someone breaks the social contract, you can just walk away. Yeah, but it's rude. It's rude, though. And again, I probably have to deal with them again, so. You know, girls can have an aura that attracts babies and small animals. I have the aura that attracts small animals. I'm like a Disney princess. I have that for conspiracy theorists. I do have that for conspiracy theorists. That's true. Hey, Goen, what's up? I think you repressed the memory, Karma. Yeah, because everyone but me showed feed. I'm pretty sure. So. Ooh, yeah, but that's CarrierCon, folks. That was CarrierCon, a wonderful experience, and I honestly did not meet anyone who wasn't cool. Legit. Everyone was cool. And there's like 20 V-Fleet talents, and I met a lot of them. So everyone was cool. You're a woodland creature. The creatures see you as their own. That's fair. Yeah, you're cool, Karma. Yeah, you're cool. Yaha. Time to change that. Is that Pat? Is that a Pat emote? Holy shit. I haven't seen that in a while. Is it true Addie has the smallest hands? No, it was me. No, my hands were, I think, as big as Snoozy's. I didn't see against Addie. I think my hands were about the same size as Addie's. Because we did the hand comparison on stream. I think I had about... My hands were a little like... My fingers were a little thicker, but like lengthwise, they were like the same as them, I think. You know? Yeah, it's a Pat emote. Nice. Okay, I should probably take an ad break and then let's actually transition to talking about some fitness stuff, because I do have some marshmallows coming in for fitness. We do want to answer those and to do the rest of our general just chatting. But I think it's fair, like an hour and 12 minutes or so of CarrierCon action. If there's anything else I think of, I'll keep going, but we'll be right back in 4 minutes. Everyone stick around. I'm going to go to ads just so nobody gets pre-rolls. And I'm going to go use the bathroom. Everybody take a little pee-pee, get a little snack if you need to. I'll be right back, and I'll see you on the other side. Very holdable. Thanks. All right, be right back. All right, welcome back from ads, everybody. We're back for more yapping and fitness questions. Welcome. Yes, the jar, Duntham. Yes, the jar. Also, earlier, I forgot to tell you this, Duntham. Of course, I'm the #1 clipper. I'm the #1 clipper. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I clip myself for shorts and stuff. Maybe, you know, I'm #1. That's real. That's honest. #1 jar clipper. That is a pretty cursed light stick. Yeah, it's a pretty good picture timing. Anyway, Aodo says, I just realized there's no Bricken Fund on Throne. Yep. The reason why is I felt like it was silly to have Bricken Fund on Throne when... So I set up the Stream Elements tipping, right? So there's the tipping through Stream Elements now. That actually just costs you guys less money than the Throne Bricken Fund. Because that was just money for Bricken, but it costs more because of Throne's cut. So SE tips does not cost, like, doesn't take as much of a cut. So considering it was just for pure Bricken, like, money stuff, there's no reason to really have that up. Like, Throne's good for items, but it'd be just kind of cost you guys more over SE tip, which does have TTS, too, which is pretty cool. But I need to, like, set that up more properly because it exists right now and it works, but I don't think there's any, like, I think it's only in, like, the shill link. But anyway, yeah, all right, why don't we answer some questions, because we have had some marshmallows come in. Let's talk fitness as per usual, right? Get our Thursday action going on. Looks like we have, drum roll, 4 questions on the oh, what's that? What's that?
Now we can do this.
Thank you for the 10, Aodo. See, it works. You spend it all on Bricken anyway. Exactly. It's all for food, right? It's, you know, for my shed, my $250 a month, like, hovel that I live in, and also for Bricken. Both things, but thanks, Aodo. All right, let's get some questions answered here and get onto the fitness side of things. Yeah, I should make the voice louder. I can fix that someday. Probably better say something else than someday. Soon. There's no confirmation when you threw it. Yeah, I'm turning off the alley picture. Yep. Okay, let's start at the bottom, see what fitness questions we have on the docket today. All right, let's see. First up, what's your opinion on the critical window for protein intake after a workout? It is a myth. You are fine as long as you have your protein within 4 hours before or after your workout. It will still be circulating all those amino acids in your bloodstream and you'll be good to go. Don't get me wrong, it's still good to eat after a workout. I think it's just nice, helps me recover at the very least, I feel like, mentally, if not also physically. But you do not absolutely need it. You could have a meal before workout and be just as fine. So no worries there. Just within 4 hours, you want to have a very high protein meal before or after. Eat before and after. I do that. That's what I do. Sammy, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. I eat before and after usually. So usually I'll eat like an hour before and then right after. But I just like eating and I eat like 7 times a day. So that's that's fair. Next question. When I do exercises where I have to put my head to my chest, like flutter kicks, my neck muscles get really tight. Is it supposed to happen, or should I try something like a pillow to relieve it? So that's probably, if you're like cramping in your neck muscles, that's a little out of my area of expertise because that's more like physical therapy type stuff. But that probably just needs to be stretched out more, and you're probably either sleeping or sitting in a position that's putting a lot of stress on it. So I'd focus on, like, you know, rolling your shoulders, making sure your posture is good, right? Making sure your head is not tilted forward as a big one, right? You want to stand up straight and tall. Make sure your neck's not craning forward like gamer posture to make sure that's not going to happen. But yeah, if you every time you put your head to your chest, you're getting like neck pain, that's definitely something you want to kind of work out with some stretching, probably side to side, back and forth. Take it careful. Don't go fast. Stretching should always be slow and ease into a deep stretch, please. But yeah, that's most likely not supposed to happen, right? Like I think you should probably be able to put your head down, back, left, right without significant pain. So is it now, when you say your neck muscles, I'd also be interested to know if it's your neck or your traps, right? Is it like along your shoulder line, or is it straight back of the neck, like back right, back left quadrant? Because that does matter a little bit, but either way, it'll be helped by stretching, which you should get into regularly, but also make sure your posture is good. That's the best thing I can recommend there. Let's see. Oh, I got a gift suggestion on Throne. Oh no, what is that? I'll look in a bit. It was hard to find those before. I want to make sure it works. All right. How do you handle rest days for muscle building? I know some people do cardio on those days. I was thinking of doing the same, but but I feel like it may be too intense. I think boxing could be too intense for rest days. Boxing takes a lot. Seductive Hippo, thanks for the follow. Rare Sclimbo lean in. Yeah, I was just, I was looking. I was like, not me this time. Yeah. I think boxing can be pretty strenuous. It depends on how hardcore you're taking it. But like, I have friends who are boxers, and when they do boxing training, they are running themselves absolutely ragged. They're doing crazy cardio for like 2 hours, like stair running. They're like burning themselves out like crazy. They're punching for hours. Like they're really going hard at it for like a 3-hour session. So if you're doing that, that's not a rest day. That is not rest day material. You will not recover properly for lifting the next day, because that's just central nervous system fatigue at that point. Like your CNS is just going to be overtaxed. But if you're just like hitting the bag a little bit for like 30 minutes, that's fine. It depends on the severity, I would say. I think cardio on off days is fine. I wouldn't be doing high intensity interval training and also lifting back to back. So if I was doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, full body for lifting, I would not high intensity interval train on Tuesday, Thursday, and then maybe like Sunday. That would be probably not enough rest in my mind. You could do light cardio. So you can do like a jog. You can do more steady state stuff, right? Like zone 2, zone 3. That's fine, I think, on the days off. It's actually good to stay somewhat active on a rest day. You don't want to be completely sedentary. So walking's good, stretching's good, jogging's good. You just don't want to do too much, right? Anything that is bringing you close to failure is still going to matter, even if it's not your muscle in particular. It will overall fatigue your system more. So you box once a week. It's definitely a lot for rest days. Yeah. Let's see. Signed in sender. Hold on. We have more questions coming in too. Disordered eating issues aside, talking strictly health/caloric issues, biological. If I have a 3 to 4 day binge, thousands of calories a day, 4 to 6, etc. After it's over, what are the objective reasons I shouldn't skip out on food entirely for 2 to 3 days biologically? Roasted Dad, welcome. Thanks for the follow. I understand the mental aspect, creating a dangerous binge starve loop. In trying to recover from the damage done, wouldn't I simply be fine not to eat for a while because I'm going to be carrying so many extra kcals? Okay. Really good question, and a very nuanced question. This is a fun one. I haven't gotten to talk about this before. Actually very excited for this one. Okay, so yeah, if you are 3 to 4 day binging, thousands of calories a day, we're talking like 4,000 calories a day. That's a lot, right? Obviously, you're over your maintenance. You'll gain weight. He thanked you? Yeah, thanks, Roasted. Thanks. I appreciate you. Obviously, you're going to gain weight. That's probably over your maintenance unless you're a super athlete, so on and so forth. The idea being we then don't eat to try and mitigate the damage that was done. So like you said, aside from the mental aspect, because that's binge starve, physically, the problem you'll run into is it is safe to do, I would say. I would say not optimal, but safe. The best thing to do is just not do this in the first place, obviously, and get right back in your cycle. I think that not eating for 2 to 3 days is after a binge is medically safe unless you have certain disorders, obviously, right? Like if you have blood sugar disorders or something, or diabetes potentially, certain types could be a problem. I don't think you'll be injured by doing this. A lot of people fast. It's not optimal though. And the reason why is even though you've eaten all those calories, you will feel physically and mentally drained and not be able to perform well 3 days into not eating. 2 or 3 days into not eating. You will probably feel like shit. So it won't feel good for one. And for another thing, you will eventually get to a point where it's not optimal for lifting. So you might think, oh yeah, I do have all this in my body, but that won't last in your body forever. So if you were to say lift on day 3, that would be a fasted lift. You would not have the glycogen most likely in your muscles that you'll need to do an optimal lift, and you won't have the tools for recovery either. So you can imagine that even though you've eaten so much, because you haven't eaten for 2 to 3 days, working out on that 3rd day potentially, or even on that 2nd day potentially, will have a negative impact on the growth you could have gotten muscularly if you were working out, right? So that's the only biological problem, I guess I would say, is that it would still mitigate your gains over just eating normally. So recommendation obviously is don't do that, especially not a 3 to 4 day binge. Like binges can happen. I do them. Keep it 1 day, right? Keep it 1 meal. If it's going to happen, then get right back on the horse. And I understand like there's a lot of fasting people, right? There's a lot of people who are interested in the idea of fasting, who have a bunch of theories about it with like autophagy and stuff like that. All I'll say is people tend to perform worse when they don't eat, objectively. Pretty much everybody. There are some weird mental benefits to fasting. Definitely some people can feel more locked in on a short-term fast. like for like a little bit, right? Like if you only eat one meal a day, some people mentally have this thing where they do feel more locked in and they lose their brain fog. That's like not a measured thing, but a reported thing that can happen. But what is true is that it's just inefficient for your muscles, right? You will not gain as much muscle. You will not be able to work out as hard if you haven't eaten for 3 days. That's a reality. I'm about to destroy some chicken. All this taco food has made me hungrous. Hungrous. It's good stuff, but yeah. I would say, try not to. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's just inefficient. Not super inefficient either. Like we are mincing things here. Like you can do this and it's relatively safe. I just wouldn't recommend it. Dangerously hangry. Let's see. The obvious answer is if you'll use it, but I'm thinking about getting one of those under desk treadmills. Thoughts? Kind of swayed away because they advertise only doing walking speed. You know, I think that they're great, especially because we sit too much and we don't stand enough generally, especially if you have an office job. I think underdesk treadmills are awesome. Couple considerations. Try it out before you buy it, or at least have a good return policy, because there's two things that could happen. One, you could find out that, oh shit, I actually don't like looking at a screen when I'm moving. That makes me motion sick. That's a problem, right? If you're at all motion sick, that can be a completely limiting factor. Two, consider noise. It might be loud. It might be annoying. You might not be able to actually be in your meetings because of the, the sound is overpowering your voice or something, or it's just not good to constantly hear that noise. You might not like it. So try it before you buy it, or at least be able to return it. But I think they are good. And walking speed is fine. You probably don't want to be jogging while working at your desk. But they also do break easily, but they're pretty good. I think they're pretty good. Just definitely watch out for that motion sickness thing, because that can be a big problem. I've had that where like, I don't like watching things when I'm walking. I can't do it. I'm like, oh, this feels bad. Get a stepper instead. Stepper could be good too. Yeah, a stepper could be good. I think in both cases, just the idea of looking at a screen like discerningly while moving could be tough. But it depends on the type of person you are. I get VR sick really easy, but I don't get car or boat sick really easy, so I don't know. Any advice for someone who needs to do exercises lying down? POTS makes working out while standing very dizzy or unsafe. Okay. Let's see. We talk about this a lot, and I've worked with a lot of people. I do think that, depending on severity, I think you can get to a point where if you're capable of standing and walking, that's probably better, because there's not too much that you can do lying down and only lying down that's really, really tough, right? Because you could say like, oh, well, you bench lying down, but then how are you putting the weights on the bench, right? Because you'd have to get up and move the weights around, so you're still standing up at that point to put the weights on the bench. So there's lying down. You can do things like butterfly kicks. You can do candlesticks for your abs. Let's see, you could do a variety of stretches you can do pretty easily. Obviously, you can do push-ups and things like that without standing. Sit-ups, there's things you can do. Sit-ups would probably have the same effect, though. As standing. I think my recommendation would be, though, if you can stand at all, to walk. That'd be my number one. Because you want to build up any sort of cardio and any sort of tolerance to it. So my number one is, if you can walk. That is my number one. Over anything else, I have a small elliptical that I really like, great for short cardio. I think I trained myself out of motion sickness by being stubborn. Yeah. Got an underdesk treadmill, but I do feel the movement when I'm done. Can you work out in a seated position? That opens up most gym machines. It does. Yeah, it does. But you still have to worry about managing your cardio level, right? That's still going to affect at the end of the day when it comes to POTS and stuff like that. So still have to think about that. And you could just use a very light weight, of course. That's a very, very good way to handle that. But I tend to be very pro walking, where it's like before anything else, I want people to be moving. So usually I've been talking to people a lot these days, like who are getting started with fitness, who've never really done anything before. And the first thing I always tell them is like, are you walking yet? Or are you trying to jump into the fitness world being completely sedentary? Because I'd much rather somebody starts walking a bit first and actually move right before they start doing muscles to failure, right? Like, let's get some base level fitness as a human being before we go crazy on stuff. They can be done simultaneously for most people, but for a lot of people who are sedentary or they have disorders or something, I obviously, if you have a disorder or a medical thing, I would talk to a doctor first before exercising. I'm not qualified to talk about that. Only Gen Pop, right? You need a specialist for that. But I like to see people moving first, where I'm like, all right, let's just get moving first, right? Then we can think about what muscles to hit and what weights to use. People always forget to stretch. Yes, yeah, stretching too is very important on both sides, right? Before and after. Let's see. What do you recommend for a nervous system exercise / reset? I've heard that sprinting is a good exercise for that. Just a hard all-out running to test yourself. Yeah, I would also say that you don't really... So anytime you're going close to failure on pretty much anything, you're activating your nervous system, right? Because you need to control all of that stuff, and you're definitely feeling the impact of it. Reset-wise, resting is what you kind of need to reset it rather than exercising. So... Really, anytime you fatigue yourself to the point of failure where you're like, I cannot keep going, whether it be a lift or cardio, you want to rest afterwards. That's what's going to be the best reset of all. Like we did talk about before, it's good to, rather than completely sit still, get up and stretch a little bit or move a little bit on your rest days. But really, any exercise will get you there in terms of activating it. Sprinting is good for that too. Just, I like hard all-out running. I think it feels good, but I have like yippee inside of me, right? So I think that just feels good. Like, I like that. Mostly to Naruto music in the woods, right? Like, I don't like running long distances. I do like sprinting, but in a Chunibyo sort of way. So I like it. It feels good for me because I think what I like about it, I would say, is that it moves my whole body. But another good thing that does this is like sled pushes or sled pulls, right? Like, most of the exercises I do are going to be one part of the body at one time. Whereas with something like sprints, I really like them because you're just moving everything. So your whole body's like going, right? And I do like that aspect, but that's almost entirely mental, I would say. Almost entirely mental. Little mental. Enter. Little mental. Necrobotanist, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. Wait, necrobotanist. You like dead plants? Like the plants are dead already? What are we talking about? What's going on there? What's happening? Tell me more, tell me more. But welcome in. Let's see, any other fitness things? We got no more questions right now, but feel free to put them in. The marshmallow is still up. We are yapping about it. Oh, I should show off. I did get to try something. I got to try something. Getting me to sprint is an act in and of itself. You know what, though? It's good to sprint. One thing I will say, and that I would recommend to people, is it's good to sprint. It really is. Like, I think everybody should sprint if they can, at least once in a while. Because there was this thing I heard recently that's really scary, which is, I forget where it came from, but it was some survey or study based on people's fitness data that said something to the effect of like, some absurdly high percentage of people will never sprint again after age 30. Like, once they hit 30, they will never again in their life sprint. And I'm like, whoa. Right? As like human beings that are meant to be like persistence hunters, obviously not to sprint, but like, that being something that we do as animals, as humans, and then past 30, just a majority of people just never ever do it again. That's like the same level of crazy to me as the people where it's like, oh yeah, you've passed a certain point, you've seen your parents, like the majority amount that you'll ever see them after you move out of the house. That's the same energy as me, where it's like, wow, that's crazy, right? So I think it's good to sprint just to keep it going, right? Just to keep that dog in you, you know? You bought the candle, looking forward to the forest scent? Nice, Command, I appreciate it. Yeah, sprinting at the very start, very end. You run towards food or away from danger. Other than that, I'll fast walk at most. Let's see. Think of one of those. Tried training for a marathon, running for a little bit, felt like I blew out my knees. But that's the thing, is the only reason that is because people are running right into it, right? So here's the problem. Here's the problem with sprinting and running in general. It's like lifting. People forget that they're bad at it. And this is like a harsh realization, right? But like, you tend to think that because you're a human being, you can run, right? At any point, like no matter what, right? You tend to think like, oh, like I'm a human. Like if I need to run, I'll run. Like I'm good at running. You're probably not. I'm probably not. You need to practice running just like anything else, right? If you sprint, having never sprinted for a decade, it's gonna hurt. Lang, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. It's gonna hurt a lot. And your knees are going to feel bad. Your lungs are going to feel bad. You're going to get side stitches. You might get shin splints. It's going to feel like shit. And you're going to go, shit, damn. Okay, maybe I can't run actually, right? Just like anything else. It'd be the same as if you used to bench 270 pounds, right? And you didn't bench for a decade and you're like, I can do 270. No, you can't, right? That's something that you need to hone. That's something you need to work on, right? So I think it's important to sprint every once in a while just to remember that you're an animal who can, right? But like anything else, you need to ease into it. You can't just go and sprint. Sprinting is the to failure of running, right? Jog first, build up. There's a reason why Couch to 5K as a program teaching people how to run, starts you off with jogging on and off. You're not even jogging the whole time at the beginning. You're walking, then jogging, walking, then jogging. Just like anything else, you need to ease into it. It had been years since I last ran. You walk all the time, but running killed you. Yeah. If you don't sprint, running would kill me, you know? Hey, Supa, what's up? Sort of niche D&D homebrew subclass originally. It's like a mix of druid and necromancer. Think undead with plants and creatures augmenting them. Think of it like magic jack of all trades. That's kind of neat. Hell yeah, necro. Hell yeah. Fungus zombie. Yeah, fungus zombie. But yeah, something I just do want to stress. Like, you need to understand where you're at. And I think it's good to test your limits every once in a while just to know where you're at. Right? Just to know, like, where am I really in my fitness journey? Like, where, like, realistically, I need to know how skilled I am in case I'm ever put into a situation, right? You don't want to assume that you can sprint a mile and then have to, and never having tested that, no? You were a nationally ranked rower in high school, been doing only calisthenics since graduation. When I tried to match my old PR, it was truly sorry. Yeah, and that's just reality, right? That you were not training. That's just reality. We do backslide when we don't train. That's why we got to train. But I think running is a weird version of that, where like a lot of people will think, they'll be like, I know I can't bench 200 pounds, right? A lot of people know they can't do that, but a lot of people think they can sprint and they can't. And it's good to be aware of that limitation, right? And then ease back into it. Like, I'm gonna be honest, right? I've been inside. I haven't been sprinting for the past like 3 or 4 months because it's been snow hell outside, right? I haven't gotten out. If I went and sprinted right now, full tilt, I'd be laid out. I'd feel bad. I'd get side stitches. My lungs would burn. My shins would hurt, right? Now that spring's here, I need to ease back into it. The same thing would happen to me. Just be aware. That little run rant. All right, let's see. A few more questions have come in. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, I could run a mile. Dies halfway through the first round. Yep, exactly. If you haven't tried, you probably can't. And not to say that you're, bad for it or anything, but just be aware of limitations. What's the best workout routine for specifically burning fat as opposed to building muscle besides cardio, as my throat and lungs dry out fairly fast? Make cardio rough. Okay, well, boy, do I have something for you. So specifically for burning fat, no workout is really, I guess you could say HIIT is specifically for burning fat because it's so high intensity cardio and that will burn more calories. But obviously burning fat is primarily an energy balance problem, right? Eat under or expend more than you take in and you lose weight. It's that simple. But I can help you here. Because if cardio is the problem, if your throat and lungs dry out fast and make cardio rough, first I would say ease into it more. You might just need to train your cardio, right? That might just be something you're not good at that you need to train. And then over time, it will become a skill you're good at. But let's assume that you're right. Let's assume that's not the case. Let's assume you do have an issue and your throat and lungs do dry out fairly fast. Let's take it at the premise. Powerlifting is for you. Powerlifting is for you. Absolutely. Powerlifting 100%, because powerlifting is lower cardio. You're only lifting for about 7 or 8 seconds at a time. It's very high intensity. You're bringing your muscles close to failure, but you're not under the weight for a long time to where your cardio is going to be super taxed. And don't get me wrong, you will be panting coming off a heavy set powerlifting, but you're not going to be panting as much as if you did a run or if you did bodybuilding style training, right? Because you're taxing your muscles more than you're taxing your cardio. And the nice part about it is as you rip your muscles, it does take energy to repair them. So you will burn calories more. I'm not going to say more than cardio, but you'll burn more calories at rest afterwards than you would if you did cardio. Because cardio, most of the calorie burns up front, whereas with powerlifting and muscle close to failure type training, you're going to also burn calories repairing it throughout the next 24, 48 hours. So it's good. It does also burn calories, but it kind of removes cardio as one of the limiting factors. So that would be one of my recommendations, is doing powerlifting style training. And the idea behind that is just doing things in low rep ranges with a very high weight. So you're aiming for somewhere to maybe like 3 to 8 reps per set. Multiple sets, of course, with rest in between where your cardio comes back down to normal. That's probably the best for you. I do not remember the last time I sprinted. Yeah, no, I need to go sprint tomorrow. I need to get back into it. In fact, I was actually supposed to go out on my bike for the first time this season this morning, but I woke up really late because I slept 9 hours because of carrier con. So I'm still recovering. So Yeah, we'll probably get back to biking and heavy cardio next week. It's spring now, so it's time. It's time. This is an ergonomic question, I suppose. Deadlifts, scared of them. How are they done properly? My back muscles always get engaged. It's like lifting with my knees won't do anything. I can muster one successful rep, but then the problems resurface, reset after that. More time is spent on mental setup than the actual lifts. Boy, ain't that just deadlifting. I feel that. I feel that. Okay, let's see if I can understand what's going on here. My back muscles always get engaged. It's like lifting with my knees won't do anything. I'm not sure I understand what you mean by that. But deadlifting is something where the mental setup does matter a lot and will honestly often be longer than the actual lift. I think some of the most important cues with deadlifting are you want to get yourself in a position that's like a machine. I like to think of deadlifting like you're a robot. Like you want to be locked in. Think of yourself like a robot that can only pivot at certain points. So what I want to see generally when someone's deadlifting is almost like trying to think of how to describe this, like a triangle of sorts between their body and the bar. I want to see whether you're doing sumo. Sumo is a little different, obviously. But the things I want to generally look for are back is a flight deck, right? Back is flat, right? Completely flat. You are flight deck. You could land an airplane on it. And I want to see, for the most part, people's shoulder blades, right? Back and down. I don't want the weight to be dragging them down. That's a big one. One of the reasons why the upper and mid back will bend over on a deadlift is people will just like let the weight kind of hang in their arms rather than holding the weight. Right? You don't want to let it pull you down as you come up. You want to engage your lats, bring your shoulder blades back and down, and hold the weight there. And that will help you keep a straight back as well. And then think about not standing up with your knees like a squat. Think about pivoting. The deadlift is a pivot, right? It's a thrust. So you're bringing your hips back, right? And getting the strain on your hamstrings. And then you're almost pelvic thrusting forward to lift the weight. You're not standing up like you are during a squat. Those are the big cues that I will take people through. But the biggest one of those being the fact that it is not a squat, right? A lot of people, when they get to a deadlift, they will try to just kind of bend down, pick it up and stand up. Like it's a squat with a weight under you instead of on top of your back. And that's not the way to think about it. You want to think about it as like a lever of, you know, back and forward with your pelvis, right? Pelvic tilt action is what you want to think about. Thrusting back, thrusting forward. So basically sticking, you want to keep your knees as high as you can without locking your legs out and stick your butt back to bend over. And then with that straight back, then pelvic thrust forward to lift up. Same motion as kettlebell swings? Depends. But there's a little bit there, yeah. Are we allowed to weigh in, or is that basically the equivalent of back seating here? No, you can weigh in if you want. Absolutely. Absolutely. Not a problem if you have information as well. But yeah, that's one, like the two major cues I would use, and I do use for people, is to engage the lats, bring shoulder blades back, and to think of it more as a thrusting motion rather than a pick up, put down motion like a squat. Because a lot of people will try and bend their knees like big time, right? They'll bend their knees big time, go into squat position with it and put it on their quads and be like, no, not exactly. I don't have a long bar or anywhere to keep it high for squats, so I keep my dumbbells at the clavicles. Is there any downsides to that? Oh, that's fine. No, that's fine. That's totally fine. You can just rest them anywhere really on the upper body, because the idea is you're just adding weight, right? You're adding weight to the upper body to do the squat, so then you put more load on your quads when you're doing a squat, so that's totally fine. I'll do that too. Like, I mean, sometimes if I'm using dumbbells for squats, I will tend to start from the bottom. I'll put them on, like, I'll pick them up off the floor and do it between my legs, almost like a sumo deadlifty type motion, but with a squat. That tends to be how I'll do it. But you can totally do that. I just think the problem with the dumbbells at the clavicles is you do get to a point where it's really hard to carry that much weight there. And so it gets hard to overload it, right? Because like the bar can carry a lot of weight and it's distributed across your back and your traps and stuff like that. But if you just have dumbbells at your clavicle, there is a point where it's like, that's a lot of weight, right? If you really start stacking weight on it. So that's the one limitation, I guess I would say. And why I tend to pick up from the bottom, because I'll be using a lot of weight if I'm doing squats. So trains the shoulders too, only if you're pressing them. I guess there's some stabilization going on there, but if you're them pressing after a squat, sure, absolutely it trains some stuff then. Front delt. Let me give a little stretch. I got some neck cracks to do. Thanks for the Hydra dreams. It's almost like you're saying hydrate dreams. Oh. Water. Yummy at that. Yummy is true. Let's see. Any more questions? Oh, I should show this off. Oh, here we go. Here's Lang again. Always had a hard time with front squats for a similar reason. The weight position's so good for working the muscle, but holding it's a nightmare. Yeah, I feel that. Oh my God. I love Zercher and front squats. Like, I like the idea, but it's just, it's hard. It's hard. Like, if you have sleeves, maybe. But yeah, to really overload it is hard, because when you're at lower weights, I think it's fine, right? Like, it's not bad. Front squatting, I don't know, like 165 isn't the worst thing ever. But if you've got like 300 pounds on the bar, front squats are rough. You can do them. There are people that are totally fine with that, and they built up their muscles enough that it doesn't hurt them. But I think another problem I like to think about is, like, so I wear tank tops all the time, right? And unless I'm using a pad on the bar, that's just going to run into a situation where I have massive, like injury marks across my whole front of my body because I'm holding the bar in front squat position, right? Like, it just makes it so I have massive marks on my like front delts and like, you know, down towards the bicep because I'm holding the bar there. So it looks like I'm injuring myself if I front squat because of my tank tops. The back squat will do a similar thing. Don't get me wrong. If you don't use a pad, but yeah. Uzaka, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. Welcome in. Any more questions? Feel free to drop them in the marshmallow or ask them in chat if you don't mind it not being anonymous. In the meantime, though, we do have something else to talk about while we wait for some more to come in, because I've been excited about this and I did try it. Here we go. You know, I've been talking about it, folks. That's right. Taco Bell has released their new chicken crunch wrap sliders, and I have tried them. Not too bad. I think in a comparison price war, this might be better than the Subway protein pockets we looked at earlier. So we got a creamy Chipotle crispy. Gremlin May, thanks for the follow. Welcome. We got creamy Chipotle crispy chicken crunch wrap. We also got jalapeno honey mustard chicken crunch wrap. Taco Bell drops bangers a lot. Here's what I like about this. Primarily the fact it's $2.69. That's what I really like about it. This is a $2.69 product. Love value menus. Easy to use, right? Now, 320 calories. And you know what? There was surprisingly more protein than I expected in these. Honestly. I wasn't looking for protein. This was just a cheap food item if you want a snack or something, right? If you're out at fast food, you don't want to spend $11 on a Big Mac. Because, you know, Taco Bell is one of the few value menus that are still good. Take a look at this. 16 grams of protein. They're not a full-size crunch wrap, which makes sense. It's $2. It's 320 calories. But take a look at this. 16 grams of protein. Not bad. Obviously, nowhere near optimal. We'd be looking at, you know, 200 calories for 20 grams of protein at like an optimal protein bar level or something like that. Obviously, you know, boneless, skinless chicken and turkey is 100 calories for 20 grams of protein. So it's not like optimal, but as far as fast food items go that are cheap and have some protein and also not super high in calories, not bad. Let me run some calcs on the BSU comparison. Yeah, get it, Aoda. Let's get some brick and calcs. Yeah, exactly. 2 could be a decent meal. You know, 640 calories, 32 grams of protein. Sure, absolutely. Yeah, 12 to 16, 3 to 4 ratio on fat to protein isn't the worst. Also, just even disregarding the fat, like just getting, you know, there aren't many fast food items you can get that have macros like this, even close. Most items at Taco Bell especially are going to have way more calories and less protein. And it's a crunch wrap. It's really not bad. Cheap too, right? Because if we equivalent to a protein bar, like $2.69 is like the cheapest protein bar out there, right? If you're buying like one-offs at like a gas station, that's going to be the cheap one. So it's not even going to be that good. The jalapeno one's better than the Chipotle one. Yeah, let's be clear. These are not healthy foods, but as a little treat, not bad. Props to Taco Bell for putting this one out. This is kind of a banger. Again, price is just incredible. Price is just straight up incredible on this one. One of the few value menus out there, but I really think that we're gonna start seeing more of these, because I get the feeling that people and fast food are looking at the fact that, like, hey, people don't want to spend $11 for a burger, and they're not, right? They're stopping doing that. I think sales are going down. So we might start to see good value menus again. I think Wendy's or McDonald's made an announcement about that recently. where they were like, yeah, we're gonna make something good. We're gonna make a cheap menu again, some under $5, under $4 options. Because right now it's really just, I think, McDonald's McChickens and like burgers, and then Taco Bell has good value menus. About it. You just get those little chicken wraps from Wendy's and they were banger. Yeah, those were good too, Graham. Yeah, those are good too. Hey, what's up, Hezzy? What's going on? How you doing? How you doing? We're doing our usual fitness just chatting stream. By the way, if there's anyone new here, for those who don't know me, I feel like I should introduce myself a little bit because I am seeing some new names and stuff. My name is Sclimbo from Socks VTubing Agency, self-improvement VTuber. I do run a gym in real life. That's not a bit. You know, a lot of people I've talked to who, funny enough, thought that was a bit. Even though they know me, I have to clarify. I'm like, no, I run a gym. That's real. That's like my career. So I'm qualified to talk about fitness and nutrition for a general population. That's why we do these AMAs. Not qualified to talk about disordered or physical therapy, that sort of stuff. But if you don't have any, you know, disorders and you're a normal, healthy individual, I can give you tips on nutrition and fitness. That is my job. So, currently practicing for a sim race on the 29th. What's a sim race? Oh, do you mean like simulation race, Hezzy? Like car racing? You go to the gym. What a coincidence. Whoa, it's like we're the same, Graham. That's crazy. He runs a gym. He has clients over at nights. He's 6'7" their reps. I do 6'7" their reps. That's true. That's been a problem recently. Like when the 6'7" joke's been big, I'll do counting with my clients, some of the younger clients, right? And I'll be like, you know, count the reps, like 6, 7, and then we both start laughing and they lose the set. Yeah, it's happened multiple times. Yo, what's up, big gay Mikey? How are you doing? You've seen a gym? Yeah, I've seen one too. They're pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Gyms kind of rock. Kind of rock. Bro's big. You could say that. Hopefully not big by the time I'm at Off-Kai. Hopefully actually smaller by the time I'm at Off-Kai. So I got 4 months to lock in and get real nice. I'm the king of the gym. King of that gym. True. True. But hey, also, I've been teasing it a little bit, but plans are coming to fruition. In the future, I do want to open virtual training slots for people. So we can do it virtually one-on-one. Because I'm of the opinion, I don't want to sell. Yeah, do you do workout consults online? This is actually what I was just talking about, Graham. I will be. Yeah. I will be doing them in the future. I wanted to, like, here's the thing. I didn't want to start off doing them because I wanted to be like, let me like get some credibility before I'm just like, hire me, right? But I also don't really believe, I think they're good. I don't want to like poo-poo anyone who does this because I think these things are good and they have a purpose. But like, I don't really want to put out like a general buy my meal plan, buy my fitness plan thing, because fitness is very individualized and especially food plans are very individualized. I really only feel comfortable. Like I'll give tips and stuff like that are general tips, but like one-on-one is what I prefer. I think people generally who are struggling a lot need one-on-one because you need to really dial in, right? Because a good example of this, right? Like a general meal plan or a nutrition plan or fitness plan that's sold to everybody, that doesn't take into account maybe this person mentally just does not have a good day unless they have a little bit of chocolate, right? Maybe this person mentally or they're allergic to things that are in the meal plan, or mentally they just like want to have calories for a snack. Maybe this person wants to have a little extra calories on the weekend to go out with their friends because they have a regular golf game they go to, right? There's so many individual factors when it comes to how to structure a meal plan. Some people prefer 2 meals a day. Some people prefer 6. That I don't think you can hit it all without one-on-one. And so I think it's really good to do one-on-one and be like, we will tier something to your exact needs to make it as easy as possible, because you want it to be easy. Whatever like routine, the routine that's the best is the one you follow, which is something I like harp on over and over again. So there are optimal food plans out there. There are optimal routines out there, but if you don't follow them, they're not optimal. So you want to find the plan that is something that's easiest and most fun for you to follow. That's also good. And the crossroads of those two things. And to get that, I think you need one-on-one. And that's why I'm probably only going to do one-on-ones rather than like, maybe I'll make like a general meal plan thing or fitness guide thing in the future. I could see myself doing that, but like, I want to do one-on-ones primarily, We have a nearby local gym that's situated on a rooftop. That's really cool. I'm running under the team name Socks VTuber Agency Racing. That's sick. Lamborghini Huracan GT3. Nice. Let's see. What if I want to put most of the calories into olive oil? That's the thing, is like sometimes I have to work with situations like that. There was one time, I tell the story a lot because it matters. I think this story is very important. I had a client one time who came up to me, looked me in the face, wanted to lose 10 pounds. Nothing crazy. Wanted to lose 10 pounds. And he looked me in the face and went, I am going to drink six beers a day. You can't stop me. Like basically implying that no matter what I do, this person is going to drink 6 beers a day. This person also only wanted to have 1 meal a day. They were like, I will not eat more than 1 meal and I will drink 6 beers a day. Now, what are my options? My options are, I can virtue signal basically, right? I can say, well, you shouldn't do that. And obviously I did. I said that's, I informed him of the dangers of that, obviously, because that's not good for you. But I could do that, and then I could make a meal plan that's optimal. I could be like, all right, here's your meal plan of 3 meals with fruits and vegetables and lean protein and good fats and no alcohol, right? He's not going to use it. He's not going to reach his goal. Or I can do what I can to help him reach his goal, knowing that it's better to get him somewhere than give him something that's optimal that makes me feel good, that gets him nowhere. So I programmed a meal plan with 6 beers in it and 1 meal a day. Because why wouldn't I, right? I want to get him somewhere. And sure enough, yeah, he loses 10 pounds, he reaches his goals because I worked with him. So there are some times where you have to like not be a stickler for that and just work and be flexible. Like, obviously I don't like that he's drinking 6 beers a day, but if I tell him not to, he's going to do it anyway. So why would I plan a meal plan that doesn't account for that? Because it won't work, because he's going to do it anyway. So that's kind of my thought process with it. I ran the numbers. The crunch wrap is about 0.3 BSU efficiency, not accounting for how much it weighs. They have your PPL program, but I kind of wing it on food. Yeah, and food's 90% of it, Graham. Food's 90% of it. So PPL is a great program, but yeah, the food point, I would claim, and I do claim, like, everyone should look at the food before they look at the workout plan, because there are so many people I know who have these crazy good workout plans and then get nowhere because they're not eating right. Where it's like they have these awesome plans and they're going to the gym every day and they're putting in all this hard work and they're consistent and they're hustling for years, and they don't move anywhere because it turns out they weren't eating any protein, or turns out they weren't eating at, or they were eating at a surplus or weren't eating at a surplus. Like, you got to go food first, I think. Food first, then program. Food matters more. Straight up. Because if you don't have the fuel, you will not get anywhere no matter what exercises you do. Won't matter. So, you mentioned you're planning to slim down. Any idea why weight loss will suddenly stop dead for long times, even though nothing about the workout or food intake changes? Yeah, that's called plateauing. Liz, that's a very normal thing. Happens to pretty much everyone. Some people's bodies, or bodies in general, will really try to stay at homeostasis, weight or otherwise. Now, obviously, the science is still there, right? You still can't defeat thermodynamics. You will lose weight, but sometimes your body will like retain more water, or depending on your sodium levels, it'll try and hold on to more stuff. And you might not see a drop for like a couple weeks, and then it'll drop all at once. It's a really finicky thing. You can see it on charts, but if you look at a chart over a long period of time, it is consistent if you extrapolate out by months, right? But just week to week, you might see weird fluctuations where you might even be higher than the previous week, even though you've been super dialed in on your meal plan. You might actually have a higher weight when you measure the next week, and that was purely water retention or something like that. So it will come. You just have to trust the process, as long as you know your calories are right. There are definitely situations where calories can be mistaken, but if you're so sure that you're dialed in on your calories, just stay with it and it will come. Plateaus happen. They could happen for 2 to 3 weeks. It's a thing. It's definitely a thing. So don't worry too much about that. You're a personal trainer for a short period of time, and the amount of cookie cutter plans for everything online is the same energy as influencer course. Yeah, no, I hate that, Lang. I feel that. There's a lot of cookie cutter stuff. And the thing that also really bothers me is, and this is like a personal one, is I really don't like how some trainers, I don't think it's their fault either. I think they're taught poorly, but I think some trainers justify their own existence by making things more complicated than they need to be. But I get it. So this is a really weird one, but people who are trained at like commercial gyms for the most part, right? They can run into this thing where they are taught, especially older gyms, because of licensing procedures. They're taught things that worked in the 80s, not things that we have science on right now. And you can run into many gyms where they believe in the idea of muscle confusion, right? They believe in the idea of you have to do something different every time, not realizing that the more efficient way to build muscle is to actually lock in on a set of exercises for a periodization block for a period of time and get really good at those. You can get the most out of them, right? So almost to justify their hiring, they will have these wild plans that every time a client comes in, the client's doing a different set of exercises that seemingly swap just wildly. And what it does is it makes the client think, well, there's no way I could program this myself because I have no idea what's going on, right? Like, clearly there's something behind this, but it's so complicated and there's so much going on. It's like, oh, I need this trainer because how the hell can I program all these swaps that we're doing? Where, like, unfortunately, the most optimal way to do things is also very boring and very doable on your own. So you run into this problem where, like, as a trainer, it's almost hard to justify your existence because the best plan you can give someone is a boring one that they can repeat themselves, right? And they don't necessarily need you for. So, like, once you give them the plan, if they're sticking on it for a period of time, hey, Graham, thank you so much for the sub. You almost start feeling bad, and they might get the idea. They're like, well, I don't really need the trainer because I know what to do now. And that's, like, kind of true. That's kind of true. Like, trainers are there for motivation, obviously, and to swap things on the fly and then progress as time goes on. But a lot of training isn't complicated. And I think sometimes things are made complicated to justify the existence of the trainer almost. And in my opinion, honestly, I think that some of the best trainers are trainers who they teach their clients enough that the clients don't need them anymore after a certain period of time. I think those are the best trainers. The ones who are like, I have information, I'm giving it to you, I'm teaching you, showing you how to do everything, and now you know how to do it and you're moving on. And obviously that's not good for income, that's not good for career, but it is good for people's health. And it's good for knowledge level, so I think it's important. Did you see Fox McCloud was going to be in the Mario movie? I did see that too. I did, after my little rant. I did see that. Let's see. 6 beers. We're still on 6 beers. Let me scroll down. I once told the trainer I was paying what success looks like to me is that I'm still going to the gym a year from now, and he refused to allow that to be my goal, and he kept harping on me for things. Kept telling him I'm happy, I'm still going to go to the gym, wouldn't listen. Eventually I dropped him. That's fair. That's fair. That's so fair. So fair. It's like hearing someone finally speaking sense after being in the nut house. Preach. Yeah, Lang, true. Hey, what's up, Base Turkey on the YouTube side? What's going on? What's going on? Let's see. I hate that I live in a place where I won't be able to pay people from the States to help me with my gym goals. Well, you can. I don't know what the rules are there, but it's going to be virtual. So obviously I can't be there in the gym with you, but when I do open these virtual training slots, it's one-on-ones where, like, obviously I'm going to let you send me videos for form checks. I'm going to make your routine. I'm going to work with you on a meal plan. I'm going to progress that routine, and it's going to be check-in based, where it's going to be like, you know, we're checking every week and see how your lifts went, how your food went, adjust as we go, be available to answer any questions on the fly, that sort of thing. I can't be there in person, but I can help to the point where I can, you know, virtually. I'm very autistic about my food. I eat the same thing every single day for a few months. Me too. Me too, Graham. Me too. Right now, the thing that I'm eating is at least 2 meals a day. I always eat brick and tostadas. Brick and tostadas, and then like bean soup with bricken, and then an apple and some pineapple, and that's like every single day. So I only have like 930 free calories a day after that. So that gets me most of my protein. Figured out how to make shakers of overnight oats that I really like. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's just easy to meal plan when you eat the same thing, you know? Let's see. Oh, Bricken, yay! Me getting a 6-pack from straight up only running push-ups and sit-ups for an hour every day for 9 weeks from basic training. Fair. I want to just be handed a spreadsheet, shown the exercise, and sent on my merry way. I mean, I do have some clients who like, and I do enjoy this. Like, I have clients who've stuck with me for years, despite them knowing so much now and being able to train people on their own, even like not officially, but like I have clients who I've been with for 3 years who are killers. They know how to do things. They know how to meal plan. They make better food than I do, frankly, but they just stick with me because they like the motivation and the camaraderie of it, but they know what they're doing. They don't need me. They can make their own workout plans. They're that experienced at this point. But some people stick around for that, you know? No? There'll always be more people who need the help. Yes, yes. I stopped doing it because I would teach independence from the get-go, then couldn't sustain it. Exactly. That's the one problem, is like for a trainer, it becomes hard because you teach people things and then they move on. And so I get the motivation to keep people there, but it's not the best thing for them. You know? The post-basic physical shape is crazy, yeah. And then the word of mouth spreads. Next thing we know, Sclimbo lives in a gas station serving toaster oven brick, and kinda. I have a breakfast sandwich, PB&J, and burrito for dinner. Been a good rotation. Nice. Brick and summoned. Hey, Apop. Used to have a six-pack, but right now I'm more chubby. However, my muscles more usable than visible. People look at me and think I can't lift certain things. Lift them with one hand. Even lifting things they think I physically should not be able to lift. Yeah, people are very bad judges of muscle, unless you're like in career of it, you know? Meal prepping is just making leftovers while skipping having dinner first.
Face of Mars.
Face of Mars. So true, so true. Anyway, we got some more questions coming in. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Getting close to my 30s and my blood pressure is starting to creep up. Doctor's unconcerned, but I want to try to get it back down. Should I start including more cardio into my workouts? Yes, probably. Unfortunately, sometimes blood pressure is straight up genetic, but there are things you can do food-wise and things you can do exercise-wise. So definitely get on that cardio and watch your food. Watch your sodium intake to the extent that, you know, a reasonable amount. You don't have to go crazy. Please eat sodium still. It's very important. But watch that a little bit. Make sure you're getting enough potassium, right? That's going to help balance the sodium. Make sure you're getting hydrated enough. And another thing with blood pressure is make sure you're not stressed out all the time, right? This is mental and physical stress, cortisol. Phew, excuse me, sneezing. So try and live. I know it sounds ironic, or not ironic, but like silly, but like try and chill out a little bit. If you're stressed out, that can actually help. That can actually help. Is meditation, things like that. That can have an effect on that. But yeah, food's a big one. Just focus on whole foods, focus on getting a good variety of nutrients. Probably if you're eating a lot of fast food, don't eat as much, that sort of thing. I think one of the biggest things for blood pressure though is weight down. So if you are at all overweight or medically obese, that'd be something to look at for that, because that will have a significant effect. One of the best things you can do for it. So many ways to tackle the problem, if not all at once. So things you can do for sure. But then sometimes it just is genetic. Like I have clients who are very built. They have nearly abs, right? They're really, really strong and they eat pretty well, but genetically they just have high blood pressure and they have to eventually potentially look at medications and stuff like that. So sometimes it can be genetic, but usually can affect it to some extent. No, I think you should give people golden star stickers and say good lift when they do good sets. Yeah, I should give them stickers. You're so right. So right. Yeah, strongest men in the world have no definition at all. They look like giant ogres because they have super high body fat percentages, because you need some to carry around that much muscle. You should start spinning. Do you mean like spinning class? Like cardio spinning, Graham? Like that? Hard to gauge what's liftable and what's not for others. Yeah, it is. My dad's getting to the age, as much as I love my dad, but he's starting to get old, and I've had the first few experiences of him being like, be careful, that's heavy, and it's not. And I'm like, uh-oh. I do welding, fabrication, and mechanics. I've been able to lift a 10-foot log, 4-inch wide, 3-inch thick metal pipe meant for underwater wiring. Yo, you're slinging pipe, Hezzy. You're slinging pipe. Shrek is the ideal male physique. No, Shrek is the ideal powerlifter physique. Let's not get it twisted. It's the best cardio. It's hell. I do it 6 times a week. Yeah, it does sound like hell. I need to do a lot more cardio myself, though, so I feel that. But spring's here, so it's time. Bit of a weird situation. My sleep and food schedule is completely out of whack, so schedules and subsequently regular meals are hard to plan out. Sometimes eating several large meals a day, sometimes forgetting to eat for the day. Is there any specific meals and nutrition tips for regular eating? Ooh, good question. Flying in pipe. So luckily for you, there's not that much impact that meal timing and frequency has on the overall. There is a small impact. We're talking maybe percentage points here, right? 3-4%, throwing out random numbers. Hey, what's up, Punk Frock? What's going on, everybody? Welcome in, Raiders. I'm a piece of chicken right now. But welcome in, everyone. My name is Sclimbo from Socks VTubing Agency, certified self-improvement VTuber, and piece of chicken right now. Not my normal model. Hey, Rivy, what's going on? Hey, Punk. Hey, Fives. What's up, everybody? What's going on, BTA Mini? Get a shout out going. There we go, Punk Rock. What were you up to? How was your stream go? What were you doing? We're doing our normal Thursday stream today. We do a just chatting / fitness stream where we do fitness AMAs because I run a gym in real life. So if you have any questions, Raiders, about fitness or nutrition, I am your guy. I am qualified to yap about it. That's what we're doing right now. So we're answering some like marshmallow fitness questions and stuff. Brock was gracing us with his godly singing voice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We love singing. I got to get into it more. I need to convince SVA to pay for vocal lessons. That's what I need to do. Singing some butt rock songs. Yo. Yeah. I love that stuff. Voice of a butt rock angel. I'll watch the VOD. I'll go and watch the VOD. I gotta watch that. Yeah, I love Butt Rock. Did you? I'm sure you all saw my post yesterday about a gas station burrito in Shinedown. That was such a vibe yesterday. Oh, it felt so good to be back home doing that. Love to see it. Love to see it. Okay, so to continue answering the question though, so luckily for you, meal frequency and meal timing isn't super impactful. So as long as your overall macros are being met, it doesn't matter that much when you don't eat. The thing you want to consider, obviously, is like I've said at the beginning, make sure you're having protein within 4 hours of a workout, make sure you're getting enough of it. But if you're going to track your overall calories, the fact that your regular meal plans are hard to come by and you have to really like move around doesn't matter that much because you can still just have that number. So if you don't hate tracking, what I would do in this situation is straight up start my day on a calorie, like a calculator app on the phone, right? And just put in my number and then just subtract every time I eat something and then see where it's at the end of the day. And then either, you know, get the rest of it at the end or so on and so forth, right? That would be my tip. It's just like, forget about meals at this point. Eat whenever you can. Just make sure your numbers are being hit overall. That would be my play. Other play is prepare everything ahead of time so that you have meals that are already ready in your backpack. We're talking meal prep here, so that you can just grab them whenever you do have free time. And maybe that means you eat 2 of those meal packs at once or 3 at once, or you eat 1 in the beginning or 2 at the end or whatever, right? But you're still getting in the overall nutrients. That's what matters. Hey, Floor, can I get singing lessons paid? Why do you think I hired Allie? Yeah, fair. Fair. And hey, what's up, Fleffel? What's going on? That's so fair, Liz. Oh, that's so fair. But we want to all sing together. Together. Hill wasn't that steep, but this is a Lincoln Navigator we're talking about. Oh, you're talking about the racing? Yeah, it is heavy. That is heavy. You know what's funny is people don't think about it a lot, but like when you can just lift cars. You can totally just lift cars. There have been multiple times in my life where a car's been stuck and I've like been with my friends and we're like, wait a second, instead of trying to figure out how to unstick this car, why don't we just like lift up the back and move it off of the problem? And it's worked. Like most of the times it works. People don't think about it, but you could do that. Hey, Flo, can Ali teach Sclimbo Mongolian throat singing? I need it for research. Well, the crazy thing about Ali is Ali has not had vocal training. Ali trained herself. That's all just like her training herself. And she's that good, which is crazy, right? Like Allie's got the Rock Lee weights on. If Allie had actually like vocal training, it would be a different ball game. It actually insane. People don't think about it, but you could just lift cars is crazy. It's so true though. My roommate got their car stuck this weekend. We sure tried to lift it. Yeah, there's been twice now where during like snowy conditions, a car's gotten stuck and I was like, let's just deadlift the back somewhere else. And it works. Like, let's just move it. Just move the car physically. Used to walk around about 13 deep with my rowing teammates. We could pick up just anything together. Oh, I bet with a rowing team, that's what it's about, working together. Adrenaline's a hell of a thing. Yeah, in a dire situation, you can lift a car, which is so cool. I wish we had access to that all the time. Oh God, I wish we had access to that all the time. I used to float this idea, this really chunibyo idea of like, okay, what if you carried a shot of adrenaline around with you, right? And like, should you be in a life or death situation, you just like hit yourself in the heart with the adrenaline and you get like a super, right? That's like your ultimate. Now you're a superhuman for like a minute before you die. I used to think about that like as a legitimate tactic. like what if you just had a super on hand, right? At all times, or you do it with like meth or like coke or something like that, like crack. Like you just carry around some just in case you're in a life or death situation so you can hit it. And that's your super. That's like your ultimate, right? That's your meter. I know a dude who's a world-class strongman. It's scary what he can do. Yeah, they're different. Yeah, Ali vocal trained herself. Yep. Emergency meth. Would that not work? Would that not work? Yeah, well, you couldn't travel anywhere, but like, imagine, like, what would you do? Imagine you were fighting someone. Imagine you were fist fighting someone. And they get up and inject themselves in the heart with adrenaline. You're done at that point. You're like, oh shit, I'm leaving. I'm not fighting him. Not happening. No? I think it would work. It would work, right? Yeah, your brain does that if you need it, but why rely on that? I wish I could activate that naturally. Can I like train myself to unlock Kaioken? The end of Kick-Ass 2, do they do that? You're capable of it, but your brain says no. Exactly. Can we get... I want to be able to unlock my full potential. I want Kaioken. I want to have like, I want to like hit my chakras, right? Like press my head, hit my chakras and unlock all my muscles and then get Rhabdo and die. I want that ability though. Here's the thing. Yeah, beast mode. Ape shit. I really want there to be a super. I think that humans should have a transformation. You know, I think I'm definitely a little brain melted. Track, thanks for the follow. I think I'm a little brain melted by watching too much Dragon Ball and Kamen Rider and like, you know, Shonen where people have transformations. I think humans should have one. I'm trying to find it. You know? I'm trying to, and this has been a long time running. This has been a very long time running because when I was in high school, that was actually my high school like project. My senior project was trying to unlock placebo mode. Literally, I studied Reiki energy healing and became certified in Reiki. Certified Reiki master, by the way. That's a real thing. It's not a bit. I'm a certified Reiki master as a means to study unlocking placebo effect so I could have a super. I just really want one, okay? I just really want a super. This fucking guy. I think humans should have a super. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I still have the binder too, I'm pretty sure. I want to do a Rasengan. Not even a Rasengan. I just like want to unlock potential. Like I don't need magic, right? I don't need beam. I just want the ability to I want the ability to burn meter to become stronger, or like burn lifespan to become stronger. Like 8 gates. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like I want to find some method to unlock potential as like a transformation, right? Because I think it'd be so sick if humans had a transformation state. That's like my number one wish. Yeah, Rock Lee taking off the weights moment, any of that, right? Like you hear the stories, the adrenaline stories about people lifting up cars. What I was trying to think about is like, what if you could intentionally, I want an install. I do want an install, Pinku. What if you could, because here's the thing, I don't think we've looked into this enough. And this is like steroids, yeah. This is not even a joke. I'm serious about this. Okay, hear me out. This is like dumb logic game. The placebo effect works, right? So what we know from that is that our body is capable. It's a real thing, and it does do things to people, right? Some people will take a placebo and feel better and be like, I am better, and they feel better, right? So we know that the mind has the potential, when diluted, right, to somehow make you better. Like you can alter your health status via belief. You could call it maybe drills, like in hit show Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. Maybe that's why I like it so much. Maybe that influenced the idea, teehee. Okay? Weaponized gaslighting. Weaponized gaslighting. Chaos magic territory. But if we know that delusion is power, being diluted rocks actually, because you can make yourself stronger by being diluted. So if you can identify a physical pathway, like Keaton says, for the placebo effect, what if you can get to a point where you can on command activate your adrenaline response? Okay? Is that not an install? Is that not a human install super? I think we need to really study this. We gotta. Shadow Wizard Money Gang. We love casting spells. Wish I could just make myself insane obsessed getting stuff I need to do. I think that delusion rocks, actually. I think there's so many ways you can use that. I think delusion is power, as Akiba Ranger says. As is the case in Akiba Ranger. Delusion is power. Pain is power. You know? Is that not just a panic attack on demand? Yeah, that too. DBZ fans trying to go Super Saiyan have already unlocked this power. Yo, I love that, by the way. You ever seen the video of the kid who tries to go Super Saiyan for like 8 minutes straight? I think he's getting there. Akiba Ranger mentioned. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love Toku. I love Toku. Hold on. Can I pull it up? Let me see if I can find it. This is relevant. This is relevant. Let me see if I can find it. I'm sure I can. The video of the kid going Super Saiyan. I vibe with this. Because, like, what if he's right? What if he's right? What if we're the silly ones? You've unlocked this power. I can raise my blood pressure by thinking about certain fictional men's arms. That's fair. That's fair. That's so fair. I mean, I do think, like, I can do this weird thing where I can make myself tingle a lot. Like, I can do this weird thing where I, like, vibrate a little bit and, like, my heart jumps and I make myself tingle a lot and it feels a little bit like adrenaline. I wonder if that's like that. Yeah, wait, can people not do that? What do you mean elaborate? Yeah, I can do this thing where I like shake. Well, you'd have to see it, but I can like hit something in my chest, not physically, but like mentally. You can do that too, Lang. Yeah. You can like hit something like in your chest heart area, right? And you shake a little bit, and it feels like the pit of your stomach drops out, and it feels a little bit like adrenaline. I don't know what that is, but I can do that. And just no, it's good. It's good. It warms me up. All right, let's watch this. Let's watch this 5-minute video of this kid going Super Saiyan. Okay, so I respect this kid a lot. No joke. I use my heart rate monitor. I can raise it by 30 or 40. I bet, yeah, it's like that. No, I'm not physically hitting anything. It's like I can activate it, right? It's like I'm not touching myself. I can just like hit it. I can do it right now. There we go. All right, let's see. Let me get this video on screen. Important video. So like, I like this. I think this is good. I think this is good. It's so hard to explain. It is. It is. Let's see if we can watch this.
What's up, YouTube? This is something that's been on my heart for a long time.
I'm gonna turn off the BGM.
All I ever wanted to be in life was a Super Saiyan.
So true.
Since I was a kid, I used to always look up to Goku and Vegeta. Gohan.
Yes.
Just look at them and just wonder, like, how come I'm just a human being? You know, I'm so worthless.
No, you're not worthless.
I can run, I can jump, I can flip.
It's a bit quiet. All right, cool.
Like, we are so limited as human beings.
Boost it.
And I just feel like when I see superheroes, you know, why can't we be that exciting and that awesome?
Yeah. Like, this kid is how I think now.
And if I'm late for school, just teleport there and be on time.
This is from 13 years ago, 2013.
You know,
might not be original
that
upload.
Time of meditation and just thinking about it, I realized something. All of that is possible and more. It's all in here.
Damn right. This spitting.
All in your mind.
Spitting.
Think about anything that you ever tried to do. You thought to yourself,
but like the thing is, like, I'm not even joking. Like, I'm not even making fun of this kid. This is. I think this is the right way to be. I think this is the right way to think, right? Like, I think it's almost like, I think it's like shoot for the stars, right? Shoot for the moon, land in the stars. If you are even a little bit chunibyo and you're a little bit delusional on the idea that like, no, we can be superheroes, we can be great, right? I think that only helps you in life. I think it only makes you stronger. I think this rocks unironically, and I agree.
Never do that, but then when you practice it, guess what?
Yeah, rather be like this than Doomer. I agree. I agree.
It, didn't you? It's the same thing when you look at superpowers.
He's just reaching peak humanity right now.
When you first look at it,
he understands the philosophers of old.
If you actually set your mind to it and believe,
he's manifesting.
I saw a Chinese man set a piece of paper on fire with just the power of his hands.
Sure, man.
Now you gonna tell me that was fake?
To turn 25. I unironically been dealing with this world doo-doo caca for so long. I feel like I'm 52. But you just gotta do this.
That energy through the creation of his mind, of
you
what
gotta
his mind
that
believed,
stuff,
and what he spoke into existence.
This kid's right.
The power that he had. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like anything that you set your mind to, your mind will. Your mind can create.
So he's correct here, but he's also going to go Super Saiyan. Are you ready?
Or I'm gonna turn the music. All right.
This fucking rocks, by the way. I used to do this in the mirror. I used to do this in the mirror my entire childhood. Let's get it, dude. Come on. Anyone still practicing? Have you heard of the Hero Skyline? No. Get it, dude! Come on! Oh, he's hitting it! He's hitting it! Come on, come on, come on, come on! Come on, do it together, chat! He needs to hit it a little harder. He's beginning to believe. There we go. He's beginning to believe. I'm tingling. I'm tingling. I got goosebumps. Yes. Yes. Yeah, shirt off. Let's go. Ooh. Get that shit. Here we go. That's the sauce right there. He hit that shit. That was internal. Right there, that was the one. That was the one. That's that good stuff right there. By the way, I want you to know, do you know how good that feels to do that? Actually, unabashedly. It feels so good, actually, to just like tense your muscles and just scream. Full tilt. It's so nice. And then he's Super Saiyan now. You see? So he's Super Saiyan after that. That's what it's all about. The post-Saiyan clarity. That primal scream therapy. I wish there was somewhere I could scream, because here's the joke. Here's the punchline is I would still do that now at 31. That's the punchline. If I could go into the woods and know that I wouldn't disturb anybody, and I had a place to do that, I would do that. I would do that. I would still do that. It feels good. Skyline's a real-life superhero. Oh, real-life superheroes. Yeah, Necro. Okay, there's a whole website about these dudes. There's dudes who like are real-life superheroes, and they'll dress up and go out and like stop crime. That rocks. That's so cool. And then there's now also real-life supervillains who like counter them. It's great. There's a lot of lore. Guys need to get together and go Super Saiyan together. Won't be weird if we all do it at once. Yeah. One of my favorite Calliope quotes, deep breath, primal roar.
Enter.
You want to go in the woods and scream? Yes. Hey, Rookie, welcome in. Going from shouting kind of loud to screaming as loud as you can is actually things some voice actors do to train their yelling. Well, yeah, Sean Schemmel passes out in the booth recording Goku lines sometimes. When Goku's doing his thing, Sean passes out in the booth sometimes screaming. Yeah, it's voice acting practice. I should ask Vox about that. Ask Hunter about that. Can we have a Super Saiyan gathering at Offkai? Yeah, we can have the Offkai Super Saiyan gathering where we all try to go Super Saiyan together. Maybe we'll go Super Saiyan God if there's enough of us, right? Because you need at least 5 Saiyans for that. So maybe if there's enough of us, we can go Super Saiyan God. Just saying. But I don't know. I just think that rocks. I think that rocks. Like, no joke aside, actually not making fun of anybody, I think that rocks unironically. Because I think it's better to be positively delusional than to be depressed. You know what I mean? And obviously, I'm not saying it's like a choice or anything, right? Obviously, depression is a, chemical thing, and like that's a real disorder and stuff like that. Not to put light on that at all, but to say like, I think rather than say that, oh yeah, we know what everything is and reality's boring and we understand everything already, I think it's more beneficial to be positively delusional. I think that helps you more, unironically. Just show up to Offkai to scream with the boys? Hell yeah. The girls are welcome as well, and our non-binary pals. Everyone's welcome to scream and go Super Saiyan. Local convention obliterated. Yeah, we all transcend. You gotta really believe in yourself. You do. I think sometimes having like crazy levels of confidence can honestly help you, because then you run into things too where if you're a little Shinibyo, you can like get yourself into situations that you would normally be too afraid to get yourself into just because you got the balls for it now, where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go on stage and do this thing that I'd normally be afraid to do because I'm Chunibyo now. And then you like perform, The best inventions in progress come from people who are positively delusional. Well, isn't it? Here's my thing. It's like, isn't it bold to assume, and God, we've talked about this on so many streams, isn't it bold to assume that we're right about everything right now? Like, do you think right now, 2026 is like, oh yeah, that's the year we got everything right. Like, that's the year we understand everything about the universe. Everything we know now is 100% correct. Right? Isn't that bold to assume? What if we're wrong? What if things are cooler? What if things are more wild? What if things are more wacky? I think it's just, it's a little silly to think that we know everything already. And all to say, like, the second we, like, with how weird the universe is and stuff like that, it's like, all right, what if we go out into space and someone can shoot a Kamehameha? Well, now it's real. So what then? Right? So it's fun to think about sometimes. Was low on hopium at the start of today? Yeah, keep your hopium. Get crazy with it, Lang. You gotta. Let me drink. Yeah, exactly. We can fly. We just haven't figured out the technique yet. I have faith. You know? But I don't know. I just think like the world might be weirder than we think. And if it is, that's exciting. That's a good thing, right? I'd hate to know everything already. I'd hate for like science to be done, but clearly it's not. But I'd hate for all of it to be done. We don't understand how a lot of things work. And in those gaps, I'm going to actually make the God of the gaps argument and say that like, there's probably a lot of cool shit in those gaps we don't understand. And because we don't, we shouldn't assume that we do. And we shouldn't assume that everything's boring. Maybe it's crazy. Maybe we can go Super Saiyan. What is it? The dimensional, oh God, what is it called? The dimensional, not rift. It's the thing where they were joking about every alternate reality, like from comics and stuff, all coming into the real world. What if that's real? Something along the lines of the more we learn, the more we know we need to learn. Yeah. You gotta attempt wall crawling. Hey, Murders Valentine, what's up? Gotta have some whimsy. Hyperbolic time chamber. Yeah, a lot of cool things could be in the gaps, right? What if, like, what the hell do we think about the observer effect? The merge. Yeah, thank you, Gerada. The dimensional merge. But, like, I don't understand quantum physics. But, like, what does the observer effect suggest, right? Like, what weird questions does that open? Where it's like, oh yeah, things actually change state when they're observed. What the hell's that? That's weird. Right? At the very basic level, what does that suggest? Maybe we got some powers we don't know about type deal, you know? If meta renames itself to Capsule Core, I'll spill my drink. That would be pretty cool. Just to emulate DBZ. That'd be pretty cool. All to say, all of that heady talk, all to say, going Super Saiyan in the mirror is kind of cool, actually. And we should also have an install super. I think it's unfair that we don't. Wall running is a cool superpower. That's true. Parkour is pretty cool. And like spitting fire and swallowing swords and all that stuff. I just think we need to find an install, but I think we might have one. I think that there might be a human install, like objectively, and we just haven't figured it out yet, right? Because if we know that there's a mechanism, for like your brain stops your muscles from holding back and then you break them and like get rhabdo and stuff and hurt yourself. If we know that mechanism exists, we just need to find a way to activate it on command, right? There's gotta be a way, whether it be through intense delusion. You know what I wonder, actually? The way to find this out, and this is a weird way to think, but a way to find this out would be, has there ever been someone who's activated like the adrenaline fight or flight response, that same one that allows like someone to lift a car off a baby, by something that's not actually tangible in the world happening, right? Like obviously in that scenario, it's like you were in a car accident physically, right? Maybe you got burned or something, maybe your baby's trapped. But what would the same thing happen if you just thought those things were happening, right? But they weren't actually happening. I wonder if you could trick your brain, because then that would be like, okay, now there's a way. It's not a physical response, it's a mental one. Then there would be a way. There was a super soldier serum in development. Yo, get some Captain America action. Yeah, juice lifting would be insane. I mean, we have like smelling salts for that, kind of. Actually, are smelling salts an install? They are a little bit, right? Part of the plot of Crank. Maybe an anime woman, but I don't know a lot about shonen. What's an install? It's a fighting game term. An install just means it's a usually an ultimate move in a fighting game where you attain a new form rather than do a big move that does a lot of damage, right? So an install would be like going Super Saiyan in a fighting game is an install, kind of. So I think Eddie Hall did that. You know what? I think Eddie Hall did do that, arguably, Lang. I agree with you, because there is that deadlift that Eddie Hall did where he breaks the record and he gets up from the deadlift and his nose is bleeding and then he almost dies in the back room. So I would argue, yeah, that's probably an install he pulled off. For those who don't know, I'm sure I could pull up the video, but yeah, Eddie Hall does, I think it's like a 1,200 pound deadlift? It's an 11 or a 1,200 pound deadlift. And he imagines that the weight was on top of his kids and he does it. And he bleeds out of his nose and ears while doing it, right? And then he succeeds the lift. He gets up, talks into the mic briefly, and to like talk big game basically and be like, yeah, I did it. Thank you for everyone here. And then he walks backstage and passes out and has a heart attack. I'm like, okay, that's an install, right? He lived, but by all definitions, I think his heart rate went up to 250 or something, and he was having a heart attack actively afterwards. I think that that was probably an install. There have been experiments recently to map out people's neuroelectric impulses for mental health research. Ooh. If you can manage to convince yourself, I got to do this or X is going to get hurt. Yeah. Yeah. What does your brain look like when you're reading a good book? There's a lot there. There's a lot of fun to explore in that category, I think. A lot of exciting adventures await, you know? It rocks. It rocks. All right, let's see if there's any more fitness questions. Let's see. I bet some borderline or straight up installs have been achieved during the Olympics. Yeah, well, some of the Olympics guys do like gear second poses before they hit the run, right? So that counts. That counts. Yeah, if you could map the adrenal response, that'd be interesting. That's just interesting to me. Something I like thinking about. Isn't what you're talking about when people dealing with some form of psychosis are super hard to restrain or abnormally strong? I think that would be similar, yeah. That would be similar, right? Because if it's a mental pathway, not a chemical pathway like steroids or something that actually like gives you what's the word for it, like exogenous, right? Like if you're saying like, you know, drugs and things coming from outside the body, right, will affect biochemical processes, but what if it came from within, right? If it's just mental, that would be similar, I would say. Drinking alcohol is your install. Maybe an install to a good time. I don't know. Yeah, then you activate it at will. That would rock. That'd be so cool. We're just trying to... This is a stream where we figure out ways to go Super Saiyan. Mental health research is being used to treat severe anxiety and depression. Yeah, it's good work. It's really good work. Yeah, I didn't really see Etu sleep. I don't think that happened during Carrier Con. Whenever I was awake, Etu was awake, and I think Etu was awake longer when I also wasn't awake, so I don't know when Etu actually slept. Scary question, but when I hear the word exogenous, it gives me an instant flashback to PMPD videos. MPMD, sorry. Talking all over my words. I bet those Phantom Sense people in VR chat could activate their adrenaline response. Ooh, we should talk to them. We should go study the furries in VR chat. I think there's a lot we could learn. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea, Aodo. Now you're thinking on my wavelength now. No? Why not, Div? No. Why not? Why? Why not? What if they know something? What if they know something? We got to study. We got to find out. I think it's a good idea. We can't let the infliction spread. No, we're just learning. We're doing population studies. Can we not study furries in VR chat? But I wanna. I think they have some information. What if they have good stuff for us to know? What if they have good stuff? They might, you don't know. Listen, I'm interested, right? I mean, wouldn't you be interested? Like at the base level, yeah, we joke, haha, furries, but like, hold on. Hold on. Let's take another look at that. Let's peel back that book another page. Those are people who are spending significant amount of their time in a virtual environment entirely. They probably have some interesting pieces of information. They probably know some stuff. They probably have learned things that other people haven't just because they haven't spent the time there, right? Like, if anything, you want a hobbyist. You want a hobbyist to learn, right? Because the hobbyists are going to be doing that stuff the longest, more than just research, more than just their job. They might have info. But is VR madness even a thing, right? That's good to look into. Good to look into. I mean, I just think that when you need to learn something, you go to the experts, right? Like when I needed to learn 3D tracking, I went to the furries in VR chat because they know calibration, right? That's their skill. So I learned from them. That's what we should do. Just learn from the best. Wouldn't the real challenge being finding people with actual Phantom Sense? That's fair. Yeah, who fake it for immersion. That's fair. Most I've learned from VR chat was how to use Unity, Blender, Substance Painter, and a mountain of other creative programs. That is a lot, though. Super Saiyan Scream Circle during map hop night. Yeah. Yeah, I got contacts. You could say I got furry contacts. I'm in with them. I'm an ally. I'm an ally. I'm in the zone. I respect them. Everyone makes the joke, but they do hold up our tech infrastructure. A furry would be Morpheus, I think, in a Matrix situation. I think you're 100% correct about that. Because why wouldn't they be? Ally to fur, nightmare to you. The Goku quote. Damn. Yeah, a lot of them are programmers. True, IT gals and girls. Wait, gals and girls? Gals and guys. Gals and girls is the same thing. Yeah, I think there's a lot of good stuff out there. Good stuff to find. All right, let's see. Do we have any more questions, or are we back to just general, just chatting at this point? Let's take a look-see. Let's see. We talked about Taco Bell. We talked about all that. Yeah. Let's see. What else is going on? Anything interesting? Oh, I'm going to be joining the Adventure Ascension tonight. I didn't join last night, but Adventure Ascension RP. I will be starting it tonight. I have a fun little thing for that. I am involved somewhat with something. I'm not going to be starting with nothing. We have a little thing I set up behind the scenes. So that should be starting tonight at, let's see, in about 3 hours or so. I'm going to be hopping on for the first time and get my character started in that. Very excited. I missed the beginning because of CarrierCon. So did a lot of people. Turns out the late joiners event was last night. Totally missed the ping. I totally missed the ping because I had it muted during my time at CarrierCon. So oops, but I'm joining tonight. What is that? It's a server run by Arissa Noonish from Glitch Stars and a few other people. I know Lux is helping on it. I know who else is helping on it. Who else was helping? God, there's other people. Why am I forgetting? Minecraft D&D. Yeah, Minecraft D&D RP server, basically. There have been cases of women believing they're pregnant to the point they trick their own brain and body. How about the women who are pregnant without realizing it? How does that happen? How do you get like 8-9 months in, deliver a baby, and not realize you're pregnant? Like, wouldn't you be like, wouldn't there be a sign? I don't know much about that, but wouldn't there be a sign? Yeah, it should be a lot of fun, Graham. It should be a lot of fun. I'm late to it, unfortunately, by like 6 days, but should be good. Should be good. We got plans, and they have like a whole faction thing going on. Cool. It's cool. So I'm going to be joining that later in about 3 hours. I do have plans for that. I do have a character ready. Got some RP plans. Be good. This time I actually talked to people behind the scenes and set up something ahead of time. Pregnancy doesn't affect everyone the same. Yeah, I guess it's in those situations they just like don't have a lot of pregnancy side effects, right? And then they just don't realize it. And then it happens and they're like, damn, that's wild. Have you done a lot of roleplay before? I'm new to game roleplay. I've done a lot of RP before on like forums, and I've done D&D and Pathfinder and variety games like that. Star Wars RP, Mass Effect RP, tabletops. But I'm actually pretty new to game RP. I played on VTRP as Jordicus, which was a server a few months ago on GTA. That was awesome, VTRP. I played on Parasite SMP. Parasite Invasion SMP run by Lucia and Arissa back in November, and this is my 3rd server, I think, unless I'm forgetting one. No, I did well, the SVA SMP wasn't really RP. It sort of was, but wasn't really. But this is another true RP. So have you played many indie TTRPGs? No, not really. Roleplay Gateway, my beloved. Yeah. Jordicus was a legend. Yeah, I know. Thank you. I didn't expect for that all to happen. I keep telling people whenever Jordicus comes up, I'm like, listen, I didn't talk to anyone behind the scenes. I don't know what process they had where they were like, Jordicus, you're the chosen one. I didn't talk to anyone behind the scenes. I had as much idea what was going on as everyone else. I didn't plan for that. I just rolled with it. So I had no idea. I was like, shit, I guess we're doing this. All right. Which makes me feel bad because I didn't stream my POV. So I have VODs, but for the most part, that POV's lost. Yeah, we should do an actual RP server. The Pokemon Ranger and the one-off was peak. It shouldn't be a one-off. We are planning the next sessions of that. I just don't know when they're going to be happening. But yeah, we were doing the RP with Porcelain Maid and Poseidon and Nova. I don't know when the next session's happening, but we are planning for it once we get the scheduling down. Yeah, you have to indoctrinate people. The best thing to do is start your own events, right? I want to. I should start my own events. I've been too busy. The 2-week obsession. It's nice. It's a very nice obsession. But yeah, we got some RP servers coming up. There's also Lodestar. There's also Lodestar RP, which is the new GTA RP. That's run by a lot of the same people that ran District 5 and VTRP. I think some of the, like the dev side who are helping out on both of those, like B and a few other people, I think, are in that. And they're doing a long-term server. So it's going to run for months, I think. I am there. I just haven't joined. I'll probably wait until after Ascension, because I don't want to do two at the same time, but I'll probably jump in on Lodestar after Ascension, and play with whoever's still doing it there. Yeah, I am in Lodestar. I just haven't started. Like, I'm in the server. I'm able to join Lodestar whenever I want. I just haven't done it. Haven't done it yet. Well, yeah, because Lodestar and Ascension started the same day, and they both started while I was at CarrierCon. So I'm like, oh, all right, priorities. Let's do the limited one first. So, oh, you might see me in Los Santos. Are you in A12? That's rocks. Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I'll probably join after Ascension. I'm thinking that's the plan, unless something else comes up. We'll see. We'll see. You never know what's gonna happen in VTubing, right? So maybe there's another server that shoots off, or another invite, or another collab. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's what's up. That's what's going on. Let's see. Also, Sclim, if you're an E4 member in a hypothetical Crystal Legacy Floor Command version, what would your team be? Oh, that's a heavy question and implies you might be working on that. Crystal Legacy. Well, I think I'd have like I definitely would have a Noctowl, right? Like maybe like a screening Noctowl. That could be pretty cool. Like a, lead Noctowl with screens or something like that to make it a little obnoxious. What else would I do? I think my team probably wouldn't be type themed. So I don't know if that ruins the problem or not. Because I would definitely use, like, the Pokemon I like the most from Johto are people like Noctowl, Ursaring, Ariados, Umbreon, Tyranitar. Let's see, who else? Quagsire. Like Quagsire a lot. Like, I'm trying to think of other Gen 2s I really like. My favorites. Hey, what's up, Suma? We got Cyrillic words again. Does anyone know what that says? I don't. Sorry, I don't speak that. Can we get a translation and hope it's not them being wet this time? Got hit by that once before. Yeah, it's not a problem. Yeah, I'd have to think about that more. Johto are my favorite mons. Like, my top 10 are all from Johto, but we need to move past the everyone got into D&D over the pandemic phase. Bring them to the greener pastures. Oh, are you talking about like other indie tabletop systems? I know I'm playing Draw Steel pretty soon in real life. You recognize one word? Oh, sorry, English? Yeah, English. Absolutely. Sorry, I don't know any of that. D&D is fun. I'm playing a big game soon in real life. Gary Gygax ever made. Play something by Jason Morningstar. I'm begging you. Yeah, I don't know how to play Draw Steel yet, but I do have a game coming. I'm in a really big tabletop with my friends around here, my Sclim friends, where it's 3 tables all in the same campaign. There's 3 different parties and there's 3 DMs. And it's like 15 people total. It's crazy, but it's going to be in Draw Steel. It's going to last like years. And I know it's going to last years because their previous campaigns lasted years and they did finish. So it's like a good group. I've heard of Lancer maybe once ever. They just asked if I speak Russian. Oh, okay. I should probably learn in every language how to say I don't speak that language. You write LARP small indie games, love the scene. That's awesome. Hell yeah. I love them. I'm always happy to do like one-offs and stuff when I have the time to. Yeah, Noivern is made of paper and dreams. True. Trying to learn cyberpunk, I imagine you mean, not cyberrunk. That's different. A second Sphinx has been... What do you mean a second Sphinx has been detected in Egypt? What do you mean, Aodo? What the hell do you mean? Hold on. Locking in. Second Sphinx. What the hell does that mean? Am I right? Yo! Wait, hold on. Lock in. A second Sphinx detected in Egypt. I hope I'm so right about this. Post in Discord. This is my hyperfixation. Hold on. We're in hyperfixation zone. Let's see. A hidden second Sphinx carved directly into stone more than 3,000 years ago. Let's see. Dream Stele, positioned between the paws of the Great Sphinx, appears to depict 2 Sphinx figures, hinting that the legendary monument may have had a twin, and the Italian researchers who have the underground structure scans might have found another one. Ooh! Yeah, it's Filippo Biondi. Yeah. Filippo Biondi's the guy who did the scans under the pyramids that found those pillars going down. With his new scanning thing. Hold on. You Adventure Bros? No, my hyperfixation is the idea that human civilization's been around longer than we think. Let's see here. What have we found? Yeah, this guy's, I believe him. So there's a lot of controversy around this because there's scans of the pyramids that show these pillars going down under the pyramids, like quite far, like I think of 2 kilometers or something. But I'm gonna be honest, the dude worked for the Italian government, and the scanning software that he developed and used has been accurate everywhere else. Like everywhere else he's tested it, it's shown accuracy. And then he tested it on the pyramids and it showed something we didn't know about. So I'm like, I mean, it was accurate before. So yeah, we're getting Stargate here. Yeah, I have heard the theory of the Sphinx had a different head originally, and I might believe it. Let's see. What did we find exactly? Down underneath the Giza. I want to see the actual... Oh, here's the preliminary scan. The structure appeared to mirror the Great Sphinx. Oh, I have to look into this off stream. That's so sick. It'd be crazy, you know, it'd be really crazy if that one doesn't have a Sphinx head. If it has a lion head. That would, like, validate so much. That would be crazy. That'd be so cool. That is very Stargate. Yeah, I have a very particular fixation. I do have a hyperfixation. No, so I didn't have the Egyptology book growing up. I just like, I really like humanity and I think we rock, as you probably might have realized from like my earlier conversation about like human installs and Gurren Lagann and stuff. And I don't necessarily believe the idea that we sat around for 290,000 years doing nothing and then just made civilization in like 10,000 years. I think that's silly. I think if we were anatomically as we are now 300,000 years ago, I think we might have gotten started a little bit sooner. I don't think that's a crazy thing to claim, but that's what I'm thinking. So I'm like, No, I don't have an Egypt fixation driven by Yu-Gi-Oh! My fixation in general, like Egypt's interesting because I think it's like a location that has a lot of cool stuff. It's not just Egypt though. Like I have like a fixation on the idea, and wherever it pops up in the world, I'm like, interesting. Let's take a look. It's just a fun thing though. I'm not like studied on this. Just a fun hobby. But we need an IRL Sclimbo stream, the Sclimbo visiting the pyramids. I should. Okay, so I thought it'd be really funny. I'm not going to do this because I don't have the money to do it, but I thought it'd be really funny for my Evolutioner 2.0 if I just went live and I was literally next to the pyramids in real life. I thought that'd be really funny. But I can't afford to do it. It would be possible to do, but I probably can't afford to do it. But it would be so funny. Imagine if I did my 2.0 like big debut stream and it went live and it was literally the pyramids in real life. He's so cool. Yeah, top 10 streams of all time. You know? Yeah, I agree with that, Lang. Like, I think here's the problem is like, I think that because the argument is like, oh yeah, we didn't start earlier on human civilization because partially the Ice Age, right? There wasn't enough resources to actually get together and have the time to survive and thrive as a civilization. But like, if we're talking 300,000 years, that's also before the last Ice Age. There was another warm period before that, I believe. So like, the climate was good for it for a while and then got not good for it and then got good for it again. I don't think we sat on our butts. That's all I'm saying. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's more out there. Maybe it's gone because it's been so long. You know? Maybe you can't. But what about Flork? Flork could. Flork could. Flork definitely could. Sclimbo is the pyramids. Yeah. I found someone who teaches it online. I want to take their class someday. But money. True. Also, I think, doesn't one of the mod team know hieroglyphics? This is a crazy pull, but doesn't one of my mod team actually understand hieroglyphics? I may or may not have let that influence my hiring decision. I may have seen that and been like, all right, hold on, we got to put them on the mod team. They know hieroglyphics, that rocks. That's so cool. Let's see. If we used to be nomadic and evidence we would leave a society would be scattered, more likely be fully gone. Or it's in areas that would be not habitable now, but used to be, like the Sahara or Antarctica. You know, places we haven't really looked a lot because they're bad now, but didn't be bad. They weren't bad in the past. But no, I'm pretty sure one of the mod team Can read hieroglyphics. That's not a joke. It might be BB. It might be BB. Might be Binka. I think it might have been Binka, actually. So that's cool. That's really sick. That rocks. Big fan of that. I'll ask. Yeah, ask. Wouldn't mind going back to it. We need a time machine or good scanning tech. Yeah, we're getting better scanning tech, though. Okay, BB does? All right, that's sick. I'm so happy about that. I remember seeing that on the mod application. Somebody was like, I understand hieroglyphs. I literally, like, teach and understand hieroglyphs. And I was like, oh, we got it. We got to put them on the mod team. Please, 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 please. Please. I mean, obviously, they were qualified other than that, right? But I was like, okay, that's like bait. That's Sclim bait right there. Are you serious? In the mod hieroglyphic study circle? That's so cool. Oh, Etu, you did too? Wait, why is everyone learning hieroglyphics? That rocks. That rocks. Oh my god, we're like Yu-Gi-Oh mod team. Can we go to Egypt? Etu, can you ask Flork if we can fund an expedition to an SVA expedition, not a trip? Can we fund an SVA research expedition to Egypt? No VTuber agency has done that before, right? I can pitch this idea. I can pitch this. We all go, right? We study ancient Egypt. We try to find secrets of the pyramids. Listen, if anyone can solve the mysteries of the pyramids, I think it's Sock's VTuber agency. Don't you? Tales of Sclimbonia. Yeah, we could get like Hara. We could go ask Hara. She could come. It's like learning Japanese, only the language is dead. Please take me with, please. Okay, so I'm actually not a fighting game fan, Tux. So I actually don't like fighting games. I don't play them. I just have experience in that realm from other things. I know fighting game stuff because of I had friends who I used to work with who like went to Evo and stuff, and we were all collectively doing stuff in that zone, I guess we could say. But I don't play them. Yeah, we could be an actual SCP, I imagine you mean, right? You competed for 10 years? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I think we should become an SCP organization, right? I mean, like, Vox is around. We could definitely have an Egypt expedition. Vox could narrate. We'll get Binka. We'll get Hara. We'll get everyone who understands hieroglyphics. We'll go explore the pyramids. And, you know, we'll just break in. Right? We'll get banned from Egypt. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. We could fund that. Put that on Throne. You know, you could just do things. We talk about free will all the time. That's one of them. You can just do stuff. SCP Secret Lab? Oh, that is a fun game. No, I'll get banned from Egypt. I would absolutely get banned from Egypt. I would 100% get banned from Egypt. Because you know I'd be the guy who's like, let me climb the pyramid. I want to climb it physically. After Mystery Jerky, I would 100% like enter dig sites and get banned from Egypt. Entire group of online personalities jailed in Egypt. Ah, no, don't. Ah. I'm not an ancient Egyptian fertility idol, though, so I don't think it's going to work. I don't think I can trick them. I wonder if anyone's ever... I'm sure they have. Do you think anyone's ever cosplayed like Kaiba and Yugi and went to the pyramids? Curse of Ra. The Curse of Ra would be so sick. I wish I had a cool curse on me. Because then I could probably use it to be like strong, right? Like in Magi. Oh, cool. Hieroglyphic scepter. Make sure nobody tries to swim in the Nile. Yeah, I don't want to die. Curse of Ra. Hey, Zep, what's up? Can we, you know, it'd actually be a really good bit if my chat spoke entirely in hieroglyphics. I think that'd be a good bit. That's a good thing we do. I think we should start that. And pretend like I know what they're saying. Every other phrase you say makes me question. I'm just saying words, Graham. I'm just thinking, you know, train of thought. Stream of consciousness. That's just what my brain's thinking at the moment. Yeah, imagine the labyrinth. Exactly. It'd be like that. You get curses and use them as power, like Sinbad does. Ooh, yeah, we could bring the harmonica. If we bring the harmonica, I'm sure something will happen. They have their canon decks as well. They played a duel for a small crowd. Yo, that's so cool. Big fan of that. They won't let me post hieroglyphics in chat. That is censorship. Can we get the auto mod to unban hieroglyphics in chat? Please? Don't keep an ancient Egyptian down. Oh, yeah, there we go, A12. I agree, big time. Ibutsu, you have a good point there. You have a good point there. That's the thing is, I think we should just post hieroglyphics and pretend like we know what it means and just play that off, you know? Like, we don't tell anyone. So when other people raid in, we do that and they'll be really confused. I think it's a good idea. It's a secret between all of us. It's Twitch itself. Twitch itself doesn't like hieroglyphics. They're trying to hide something. They're trying to hide something. Tisk, tisk, Twitch. Tisk, tisk. 6 is followed by 7. It sure is. It sure is. Yeah, Bootsy, do you think so? Wait, what is that, Keaton? What language is that? That's not hieroglyphics. What is that? Never seen those pictograms before. Solar Sloan, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. What language is that? Like a lot of spikes. It looks like a Alolan. In copyright, the hieroglyphs translator you use. They can be read left or right depending on which way the figures are facing. Oh, Futhark. What's Futhark? Yeah, Graham, I think so too. No, you have a good point there. Somewhere from Africa. I can't remember which. Ah, interesting. I've never seen like pictograph language from Africa. That's cool. Yeah, I'm not very good at drawing, so I'd be pretty bad at it. Look at Mongolian. It looks like it's raining knives on it. Hold on. Hold on. Mongolian script. Ooh, there's like a nice flower in that one. I like that. Yeah, but Graham, like, how does that make you feel, though? Like, I see your point, but like, how are you feeling about that? Oh, cool. Mongolian script rocks. Look at that. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Graham, you can't say that on Twitch. No, it's fine. It's fine. Wow, that's complicated. Oof. Wowee. Cool stuff right there. All right, folks, I'm going to get out of here. That's been a stream, a banger stream. I will see you all tomorrow for GeoGuessr House Hunters International. We're playing GeoGuessr. Everyone's allowed to join and help out, so you can guess in chat. And then everywhere we land in the world, we're going to be looking at real estate. So we're going to be looking at the cheapest and most expensive real estate in the area wherever we land in GeoGuessr tomorrow. Fun little game I've come up with. I'm leaving you, sorry. So stick around for the raid. I gotta get going because I need to prepare for RP later. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't have a Minecraft skin. I need to eat, I need to do other work, and I need to actually figure out the rules because they're complicated and I didn't read them yet. So I need to go prepare for RP tonight. Thanks for coming by. I will see you tomorrow for GeoGuessr House Hunter. Same time, same Sclim place. Let's see who we're raiding into. Same Sclim place. Let's see who's on today. Let me see. The usual answer is Yomi. Yomi's the usual answer. Keep it in the family, but let's see who else is on, if anything sticks out. Oh, Blair's on, but is Blair doing lewd art? Let me check. Okay, Blair says Doodlin' Booba or something, but Blair just started. Let's go Blair. Go Blair. I don't think I've rated Blair before. Blair VT. All right, let's go say hi to Blair. May or may not be drawn Booba. But we're going to go over there, right? Hey, Kono, what's up? What's going on? What's happening? What's happy haps? Wait, Booba? Hey, Kono, let's go! Hope you had a good day, Kono. All right, I will see y'all later. This is going to be Sclim out. It's been a Sclim time. Sclimbin time. I'll catch you on the flip side. See you tomorrow. And see you tonight on some POVs in Minecraft. Bye-bye. Don't worry, Boobas are not on screen yet, Varn. I checked. Bye-bye.